Hi sweet friends, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys 50 DIY Dollar Tree and budget-friendly Valentine's Day romantic decor crafts. This is a binge-worthy compilation video, so grab your coffee, tea, hot cocoa, kick back because we are going to do all the fun crafts to get you ready for the prettiest Valentine's Day ever. Without further ado, go ahead and plug in your glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. First Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to create a beautiful, elegant, shabby chic love shack, a fancy inspired heart. Okay, so what I did for this is I found some beautiful rose print and I sent the image to Walgreens and had them printed out on a 4x6 image because it was so much cheaper than printing out a large one. And then I had this wooden round from Dollar Tree. But what you want to do is go ahead and take your 4x6 photos, and these were only 29 cents each, so it's almost cheaper than a pretty paper, and you guys can really use any pretty paper that you love. I chose this Love Shack fancy print because I am so in love with their designs. It reminds me so much of Shabby Chic, and if you guys know me, I'm an OG Shabby Chic girl. That means I am from the beginning. I loved Rachel Ashwell Shabby Chic and was obsessed for so long. That may be how some of you guys found me. Anyway, I digress. But Love Shack Fancy is kind of the new Shabby Chic, but they're both beautiful and wonderful, and I just love both of them. So I have some Love Shack Fancy wallpaper on the way, but I couldn't wait. So I printed out these photo prints, and I simply taped the photo prints together. You're going to need 5 4x6 photo prints to fit one of the large Dollar Tree wooden round hearts. You're going to tape the top 3 together and then trace out the shape of the heart and then cut it out, set it aside, and then you're going to cut out the bottom part of the heart. And I hope that makes sense and you guys are kind of following along with me. Now listen, don't despair. If you want to make it easy peasy, you guys could also print out 11 by 13 or whatever size is large enough to fit on this large heart. But for me personally, it was so much more budget friendly to do these smaller prints, even though it was a little bit more work. I feel like it was a much better price because 29 cents for 5 of them versus I think it was $12 for an 8x10, and that still wouldn't even cover the whole thing. Okay, so now we're just going to hot glue the larger part of the heart to the little wooden round, and then those 2 little spare pieces that you had left over from cutting on the base, that's going to fill in your little corners. So go ahead and add those next. And then you can add the base of your heart shape. This is actually pretty easy. It's kind of a little bit like a puzzle, a large puzzle. You guys can totally do this. You guys could also paint these if you're good at painting roses. I am not that great at painting roses. Dollar Tree is also carrying this beautiful pink and white gingham ribbon, which I thought would just be perfect. And that's also going to cover up the seam of where I glued everything on. Then I just added this sweet little bow to the center. I am absolutely crushing on this. It's making my heart sparkle and shine. And you guys, I didn't realize how much I missed all my girly pastels. And if we can get away with girly pastels in Valentine's Day, we're gonna do it. The next print I did was this beautiful bow print, and again I just followed the same thing. I lined everything up, the top 3, taped them together, then lined up the bottom 2, taped those together, cut everything out, and then hot glued them. Now be very sparing with your hot glue because you don't want to make a mess, although on the photo print paper it can really easily kind of wipe off. Here is the final look. What do you all think? Now, you might notice that I did add some icing around these hearts, but I'm going to share with you guys later on in this tutorial how to do this, but I'm absolutely crushing on this, and my Valentine's Christmas tree is going to be full of these beautiful Shabby Chic Love and Shack Fancy beautiful hearts. Okay, now for this Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to make over this big giant conversation heart that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I think it was like 2 years ago. And I'm using my Waverly white chalk paint because it is the best chalk paint in the world. I've tried several, and this one to me is the best for crafting and gives really great coverage. So I'm going to add a big healthy layer of that chalk paint, set it aside, and I think I added one more coat just to make sure that it had covered all the way. Yes, I did. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go in after this has all dried, which it does take just a little bit to dry. And believe it or not, I painted the base of my stick, which, surprise, surprise, I kind of like to skimp on painting the bases or backs of things, but you know what? I'm a very thorough girl this year and very patient. So from Walmart, I grabbed this paint pen. It's a gold paint pen. It's a little bit different than the Deco Art paint pen that I usually use, but I really liked the control that it gave me. And I'm just going to outline the Dollar Tree letters that say "Be Mine." I just thought that would give it a little bit more glamorous of a look. I thought about painting it pink, but I knew that my hand would probably not hold steady enough with a paintbrush to outline the "Be Mine." Now, if you guys have a really steady hand, or even if you had a paint pen that was a different color, you guys could also use that. And let me tell you, I think the original pink was adorable, but I don't want to do a Valentine's Day Christmas tree that's going to be like the ones you guys have seen me do the last 2 years. I want it to be really different, really Love Shack Fancy inspired and Shabby Chic. You know, kind of the Laura Ashley, just that beautiful, romantic, super girly, soft, feminine look. And then also I want to let you guys know, you guys could repaint this sign with whatever color that you're using to decorate with for Valentine's Day, or you can just relax and enjoy watching me paint. Now, I was able to keep my hand steady to do the little pink outline. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to be perfect. I'm finding peace in my heart and my imperfections. Peace was my New Year's resolution this year. So if you are doing your best to find peace, or you know, just furthering your walk with God a little bit further, what are some tips and tricks that you guys might have to help you find a little bit of peace? Now, I did go in with the paint pen and outline it as well. I didn't wait for the pink to dry, so I was a little bit impatient there. But I feel like I love the transformation. It's not as bright and bold, which the bright and bold was beautiful. If you're using that this year, go for it by all means. But for me, I just wanted a little bit more of a soft, feminine look with this one. And here is the finished look. What do you all think? I can't wait to transform the rest of mine and use it in my Valentine's Day tree. I'm itching to get started on that, but I have so many things to craft before I can put it all together. So for this DIY, this could be a Dollar Tree DIY, but it could also just be a trash to treasure. I'm taking a Christmas box, just a shirt box. I actually found a pack of shirt boxes at Walgreens. It was 70% off, and I think the original price was $6. So I got a really great deal on those, and this beautiful rose paper is at Walmart. How Love Shack Fancy Shabby Chic is this? I am loving it. Or maybe this is Olivia's romantic home. You guys know I love roses, and I just love bows, so many romantic things. So I'm sharing with you guys how to wrap a package, or how I wrap my packages, just in case you don't know. You're going to start with wrapping the base, add some tape, and then for each end you want to fold those little ends like you're folding in an envelope type shape. Not very good directions, but hopefully you guys can look at what I'm doing to get a little bit better of an idea. So the next thing that we're going to do, I'm super excited to share this with you guys. We're going to take some coffee filters and create ruffles for our package. Now, it's beautiful as is, but you guys know me, I like to get a little bit fancy and crafty. So take a couple of coffee filters and cut out the center. Then what you want to do is take some hot glue and ruche the hot glue with the coffee filter. Now, Be very careful. It's an easy way to burn those little fingertips. So if you need glue protectors for your fingers, grab those, or just be careful and live on the edge like me and go ahead and add those little ruffles with your coffee filters. But how fun is this and how adorable does this look? You don't have to invest in lace to make little ruffles. We can do it with these fabulous coffee filters. Ooh, I just had a brainstorm idea. You could also do it with some crepe paper, and that would also be very budget friendly as well. Now to take it one step further, I'm going to go ahead and pop these beautiful little coffee filter roses, and I used 3 of them. If you guys need a coffee filter roses tutorial, I have one on my channel, and let me know in the comment section below if you need me to repost it. I've posted it several times, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm getting redundant with it, but maybe not everybody saw it. But I will share with you guys probably in some upcoming videos how to create these coffee filter roses. I have the tutorial posted on my Facebook, on my TikTok, on my Instagram. You just may have to scroll down just a little bit, and I'll try to repost it on Facebook and TikTok so it's in a recent post for you guys to see. Now, I didn't have any pink ribbon. Surprise, surprise, I need some pink satin ribbon so badly, but I got creative and just decided to use this pink scrap of, it was something from another craft project that I did. And this is when those little extra things you guys keep from craft projects, those extra scraps will come into handy. I'm just going to quickly take and make a little loopy bow, just like you would be tying your shoelaces. I call this my shoelace bow. And then I'm going to attach it, and I'm going to cut a pretty little tag to go on this beautiful little faux gift. But we have to fill up the bottom of our Christmas tree, and these are some great winter crafts to do as well. And here is the final look with the pretty little tag. Again, I used that Love Shack fancy paper. So pretty. Again, I printed that off at Walgreens. Here is the final look. I think these would be so beautiful to make also for your kiddos, grandkids, little parties, or even like a bridal shower or baby shower with that rose paper. And the rose paper is from Walmart, because I know you guys are going to ask. Now, the Love Shack fancy paper I printed off at Walgreens, and I found the image online. So just maybe search for Love Shack fancy wallpaper is how I found mine. Okay, so for this next DIY, I want to make some little mini cookies. These are going to be so fun. I'm just taking this cookie cutter. I think I got a 3-pack of it at Dollar Tree at the thrift store last year. I can't really remember. And then I'm taking my Love Shack fancy paper that I had printed out. It's actually a photo print, and I'm just going to trace that out. Now, I'm using one of my gift boxes, which I felt like the gift box was a little bit flimsy to make as a cookie. I ended up making another one with cardboard, and I felt like that was a little bit more sturdy, just because it was a little bit thicker. But you're going to cut out your pretty print or image, whatever you guys want to make. And you guys could make these also with, little family photos in the center. I think that would be super adorable. I'm going to hot glue the pretty photo print to my gift box, and bam, ooh, so exciting. And then this little piping icing kit I got at Dollar General for $4, and then I had already had the bags on hand. What I'm using to pipe this icing is the DAP lightweight spackling. You get it at Home Depot or Lowe's, I believe. And you put it in a little piping bag. Of course, this isn't a real cookie or cake, but look at how adorable it is. I think it looks so festive. and so pretty in Love Shack Fancy Chic or Shabby Chic, whatever you guys love. Now you guys could do these cookies in any print. A friend of mine saw me making these. Shout out to Miss Becky. And she made some for her Valentine's Day tree, but she is a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, so she made them for her Chiefs tree. So she showed me pictures and they were so adorable. So you guys don't necessarily have to make these girly and fancy like I am. You could make them into whatever colors or prints that you wanted to. If you're doing a Valentine's Day tree or just want to decorate with them, maybe on your mantle or maybe pin some to the wall, however you guys want to use them. But these are my little faux cookies. Now another little tip, you need to let these dry for about 2 days because the spackling takes several days to really get hard. And then another one of you all told me that you can add Mod Podge to your spackling and that will keep it from getting yellow. So thank you for that tip. Loving these, and I think they're just absolutely gorgeous and adorable. Now I made 2 of these little mini ones, but then I'm taking my larger hearts that we made earlier and I'm going to add spackling around them to make these giant sugar cookies that are Love Shack Fancy sugar cookies. I love their stuff. If you guys are Love Shack Fancy fans, let me know in the comment section below. Their items are pretty pricey, but I think they're gorgeous and a girl can dream, right? Here is the finished look of our jumbo sugar cookies that are Love Shack Fancy inspired with all of the beautiful prints. What do you all think? I have to share with you guys the most adorable little Dollar Tree Valentine's Day gift bag. And what I love about it is it's kind of like a plasticky bag, so it's really sturdy, but it says Cupid's little cafe. And I'm just going to take some Dollar Tree ribbon, and this DIY is super simple, but I just want to make this a little bit more customized. I actually picked this up for my daughter and my future daughter-in-law, and I'm going to give them their Valentine's Day in this one, and then in the boys' I'm going to do a different darker color. So anyway, but I'm just adding some little ribbon to the top of this to kind of just make it look a little bit more custom. But when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so adorable and so cute, and it has like little candy heart cookies and the Valentine's Day, and I just thought this looked like something straight out of a boutique. Now the only thing I wish I could change would be the handles, but the handles are sewn in, and this is in the $1.25 section at Dollar Tree, you guys. Okay, so I did splurge a little bit and pop in there and grab a couple things, but I really needed some pink goodies because I'm going to be doing a lot of pink for Valentine's Day and Easter, so you guys know I had to have ribbon for that. Now for the little topper over here, I'm just going to take and make a really easy little loopy bow. Just tie the bow like you're tying your shoelaces, and this is what I call a shoelace bow. I actually had to bop into my daughter's bedroom and beg her for a pair of scissors because my scissors are so awful after crafting all season long for fall and Christmas with the same scissors. They won't cut ribbon at all. So thankfully she actually sews, and so she had these little scissors and they cut this ribbon. So I'm just going to hot glue this to the top edge of this little bag, and I was kind of trying to figure out how I wanted to design this, and I was going to put like a ton of frills all over, and then I just realized I think I needed to make it a little bit more simple because there's so much going on with the actual pattern of the bag that I just decided to hot glue this to the top. You could also add lace. Now Dollar Tree has these little felt stickers that looked really cute, and I just added a simple little set of felt stickers off to the side of this to give it a little bit of texture, and then I decided to take and ruche up the ribbon so it wasn't just hanging floppy, because the floppy part, it was just kind of hanging over where the cute little mug was, and I wanted to be able to see that. So I got this new glue gun, you guys, and it's It's so awesome. I'm going to see how it goes with this, but it has a low temp and a high temp setting. It's pale pink. It's so adorable. I need a link at my Amazon store for you guys. Here is the finished look. What do you guys think? And look at how adorable this little bear is. Okay, I'm giving this to Alyssa for Valentine's Day. And then I want to kind of remake this little flower box. These are both at Dollar Tree, you guys. They're in the Dollar Tree Plus section though. They were $5 each, but I thought they were really great. So fun and fabulous on a total budget. For this next DIY, we're going to make the big fluffy bow that I teased you guys with on my Instagram and my Facebook stories. So I'm taking this ribbon I got at Michael's. It was 80% off. It was $5 for the roll. Such a good deal, you guys. All their Christmas is 80% off. But I'm going to make a huge bow here. This is what I call my Olivia bow. And I'm going to take and loop the ribbon over on itself 6 times. And I'm going to do 16 inches for the first set of loops. So once you guys have your 16 inches, you're going to trim that off, set it aside, and then we're going to add another layer. So I will tell you that the ribbon is expensive at Michael's though if you're not getting it on clearance, because I needed more ribbon besides just this holiday ribbon. I didn't want it to look super holiday, so I found this beautiful pink and white. It's kind of a toile ribbon, but it was $10 just for this roll, and it only had 3 yards on it, but it was such a beautiful pattern. And somebody else must have gotten to this ribbon before me because there was only 2 rolls, so I'm just really gonna have to make do. And I only did about 4 loops, but you're gonna go down 2 inches. So the first set of loops 16 inches, second set of loops is 14 inches, your third set of loops is 12 inches. And they only had 1 roll of this beautiful rose ribbon that I am so in love with. It was also a little pricey for what you got, but you know what? We're just going to splurge a little. It's going to be a beautiful Valentine's Day Christmas tree, or I might use this big giant bow on my mantle. I made 2 of these loops. Now, find your center, and I've taught you guys before to cut little tiny notches in the edges of your ribbon so your floral wire or zip tie or pipe cleaner will grip onto there. I didn't on this one, just to see what the difference would be. I did on the second bow that I made with this. I will tell you that the bow that I made, that was the second one that I cut the notches in, it definitely fluffs out a little bit better. But this way you guys can cut that zip tie and repurpose and reuse this ribbon for another season, or you could leave your bow put together. So it's kind of up to you if you want to cut your ribbon or not. But the next step is just going to be fluffing out your bow. You want to give your bow a really, really, really good fluffing. This is the fun part and the secret sauce to making a beautiful bow. You're going to fluff it after you make it. Then you're going to fluff it again after you make it. Then you're going to fluff it again, probably before you put it on, you know, if you're doing a mantle floral, a wreath floral, a Christmas tree, whatever you're putting your beautiful bow on. You're going to fluff it after you get it on there, and then you're going to step back from it and probably do some more fluffing. So bear with me. These loops need to be put onto the mantle garland or onto the Christmas tree topper. Now, the second part of this tutorial, we are going to make a big giant tail. I know some fancy people that have really strong hands and they can make those bows and hold them in one hand. I am not that person, so I always do my tails separately. I have neuropathy in my hands, but it's just easier in general to do it like this. Don't forget to dovetail your ends. It makes a really pretty finish, especially if you're going to be selling this, or you just need to do that in general because it's going to make your product look a lot more finished. Now, I cheated and used the satin ribbon because they did have a pretty good deal on satin ribbon at Michael's for a big giant roll. Ooh, and the best part about this satin ribbon is it is wired, and that's hard to find in this really pale pink satin ribbon. The one at Walmart is not wired. So you're going to take and layer these together because we want really big dramatic tails. You guys know I love my big dramatic bows. I love big bows, and I cannot lie. I had a tiny scrap of the toile ribbon, which just didn't, in my opinion, give enough drama, but we're going to roll with it because we're not going to cause drama over our tails. Okay, you're going to zip tie everything together and then find the most beautiful spot that you need a big, beautiful bow in. And voila, you have a fabulous bow, pretty budget friendly with the clearance ribbon, but then we made up for it with the more expensive ribbon. Let me know if you guys have a great place to buy ribbon that has roses. Okay, I love this and I hope you guys try this one. Now, for this next tutorial, I am going to be sharing with you guys just an easy bow. Okay, anybody can make this bow, kiddos, grandkids, teachers, moms, whoever you are, you can make this bow. You're going to take a piece of a thrift store curtain, nice sharp pair of scissors. This is what caused my scissor frustration originally, because I could not get my funky Christmas scissors to cut through any of this. But you're going to cut a big long strip of your thrift store lace curtain, and you're going to tie it in a shoelace bow. This is looking gorgeous already. How beautiful is this? I want to make hair bows out of this. What do you guys think? I think that would be gorgeous. And then you're going to take some of your Dollar Tree ribbon and you're going to take and cut a really nice long piece. This is the Dollar Tree Grosgrain ribbon that has kind of little ridges on it. They do have the satin ribbon in a smaller size, which I grabbed some of that too. But you're just going to wrap it around the center of your first bow and then tie another shoelace bow, and then you get those big, pretty, just kind of relaxed prairie Love Shack fancy type bows. I want to make some smaller ones, and wouldn't it be cute to make like little bracelets? I made bracelets for my nieces this past spring, but with ribbon and roses. And what do you guys think? Does this look beautiful? I am loving this. And then I also did one with the satin white lace. I think there's so many ways you guys could use this. I'm gonna use this on my Valentine's Day Christmas tree, which I'm super excited. I hope I can get everything done and get ready and have it up by the middle of this week. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because I am going to be hosting a new giveaway coming up soon too. So this is just another set of the same bow, but we're going to use the white satin ribbon. Here is the finished look. I popped it on to this fake cake. What do you guys think? But I am going to be using these in my Valentine's Day Christmas trees and all throughout, and maybe even making some little hair bows, because I've been crushing on the hair bows this year. And you guys give me so much encouragement when I wore a hair bow for my Christmas takedown. It gave me the spirit and encouragement to just keep wearing them. I love big bows and I cannot lie. So for this tutorial, we are going to be making another Love Shack fancy heart, but my Love Shack fancy wallpaper came in. I was so excited to receive it. I'm over the moon. That's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Hopefully I can make time. I have so much stuff going on tomorrow, but now I'm just going to take my little cardboard gift box and cut out a big giant heart. I went to Dollar Tree today, you guys, and I was so sad because the wooden hearts that I had been making, my Love Shack fancy hearts, were sold out. I was like, oh no, they're gone. I should have bought more, but I didn't. I wanted to leave some behind for the rest of the folks, but then I went back for more and they're sold out. So we're just going to do it out of cardboard. No big deal. And this is a good way you guys could repurpose and reuse, you know, your little shirt boxes or cardboard or whatnot. So once I have my little shape cut out, here is the beautiful wallpaper. It is so gorgeous. Now in the picture, when I ordered it online, I thought it was going to be darker, but I was surprised and really pretty delighted that it's a little bit bit of a lighter shade because I do love this pale pink. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this to craft with. I'm telling myself that I really want to use it as wallpaper on my walls. Hopefully it will stick because my walls are just slightly textured, but we will see. It's so gorgeous though. I mean, I couldn't stop staring at it. It made my heart so happy. It reminds me almost like a vintage chic kind of 80s vibe, but I am here for it. I'm an 80s girl, 80s, 90s girl. So once I have my wallpaper cut out, you guys could also use craft paper or whatever paper you have on hand. You could also even maybe use fabric for this idea. But this is a peel and stick wallpaper because there is no way I'm going to try to make wallpaper happen because I changed my mind way too many times on what style I want to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and what I traced out, I'm going to cut out and then adhere that to my little cardboard. Super simple, very easy peasy. And here is my beautiful Love Shack fancy heart. I think it just looks so gorgeous. It reminds me so much of all the beautiful Love Shack fancy prints. And I was so excited, you guys, too, because Love Shack fancy commented on my Instagram post. It just made my heart smile. I hope if you're watching this, Miss Rebecca, that you're loving my tutorials. I'm such a super fan. Wouldn't this be pretty also to add in this pretty little lace bow with some pink satin ribbon? Oh my goodness. I did go ahead and add one, but I made it a little bit smaller because I didn't want to cover up any of those beautiful roses. How gorgeous are those roses? You guys know I'm always crushing on everything roses, but especially this season with the wedding coming up. My son just recently got engaged to his beautiful fiance Skylar, and I'm going to share with you guys some clips from the bridal expo that we went to this weekend. Now here's a fun little Dollar Tree DIY for you guys. You can make a little scrappy tag, so you guys know that I'm not going to be throwing away any of this beautiful wallpaper. I'm going to take these Dollar Tree tags and simply add them to, or add the scrappy paper to the tag, and then replace that string with a pretty pink bow. Oh, I can't wait to share this with you guys. I'm going to be giving this to Alyssa for Valentine's Day because she loves little Victorian brooches, and I'm going to end up adding a Victorian brooch to this as well. Now you guys can find these Victorian brooches in packs on my sweet friend Natalie at totallydazzle.com, her little website. There's my puppy dog Beanchy Bear. He is always here for the camera. He is not a shy guy, but I'll leave a link to Natalie's site in the description box below. Dollar Tree Garden planter bucket into a fabulous shabby chic floral. What we want to do is start out with some chalk paint. Now you guys use whatever paint you have on hand, but I absolutely love the white Waverly chalk paint from Walmart. It has such amazing coverage and you can pretty much do any craft with it. But the other thing is I really need to order some crafting gloves. And also I want to give you guys a huge shout out for those of you that sent me some scissors. I had 2 pairs of scissors arrive back to back. So thank you all, sweet friends, for those of you that did that for me. I had worn out my scissors during all my Christmas crafting. Now I did add a little bit of pale pink over that initial Waverly white chalk paint coat, and then I'm just going to take a little tiny piece of sandpaper and sandpaper over where it says flowers and garden, and that way you can kind of get that little distressed shabby chic look. You guys know I am going to be an all-in shabby chic Love Shack fancy Bridgerton gal this spring and for the season of romance and love. Now the next thing I want to do is add some hot glue to the base of my little bucket and add in some floral foam. Again, this is from Dollar Tree. This is super simple, and then you guys can grab whatever flowers that you have on hand. I actually was taking apart a wreath that I had made last year to get some of these flowers to remake some DIYs for you guys, and I'm just going to use some of this lamb's ear to kind of pop in and around the base. These flowers were from Hobby Lobby and they came on a little bundle, pretty inexpensive, but really use whatever florals you want. And we can start thinking about spring florals now because spring is going to be around the corner. Now don't panic, but we are in the coldest part of winter and I have to do some spring dreaming. So even though we can enjoy some winter months, yes, and be inside crafting and baking cookies, trust me, I love all those things, but it is really cold. Almost too cold to walk my little puppy dog Benji Bear, but it did get above 30 today, thankfully, and so he walked in his little sweater, which I'm going to share with you guys later in the video. Anyway, continue to fill your floral garden with lovely flowers, fill it in with some more greenery pieces, and bam, you have this fabulous floral on a total budget. I love the transformation of the little flower and garden bucket. I haven't done one of these in so long and it made my heart sparkle and shine. Now I can't wait to share with you guys how I decorated my cabinets for Valentine's Day, but I popped this little bucket in next to my love side in my kitchen. It just really made it feel like it was blooming with so much romance and spring dreaming joy. Now for this Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree sparkling hearts, and they are gorgeous as is. Trust me, I have used these sparkling hearts for the last couple of years, but I'm going for more of a shabby chic look this romantic holiday. So I am going to start out with a layer of Waverly white chalk paint and just coat my heart with a good old fashioned thing of chalk paint. And if you don't have chalk paint, you guys can use regular paint and mix 1 cup regular paint, 1/2 cup baking soda, and that will give you chalk paint. Chalk paint is just really great to craft with if you want to do some heavy duty coverage and really transform some items. And I have a fun chalk painting project coming up, a collaboration with an amazing chalk paint company. I can't wait to share that with you guys. It's going to be a huge project, but hopefully well worth it in the end. So I did add some little dibble dabble of pink paint over the white chalk paint once that had dried, and then I'm adding Mod Podge layer over the top of that to really hold everything in. And you know, just we're also going to add some glitter. So once I had that layer of Mod Podge, then you can go in with some iridescent glitter. Walmart has a big giant thing of iridescent glitter for about $2-3, super inexpensive and great to craft with. Although it does flake off, I'm probably going to have glitter everywhere because of this project. But you guys, I can't wait to share with you guys how we're going to transform them into the Love Shack Fancy hearts. Okay, so I had ordered this wallpaper from Love Shack Fancy and I had cut a little piece off to craft with, and it is everything in me not to just go to town crafting with this paper, but I do want to wallpaper a wall in my home somewhere, and I cannot decide where to wallpaper, but I just added the little wallpaper to the back of my heart to make it oh so chic and love shack fancy, and these are going to go in my kitchen. I'm super excited for that, and I'm just going to tie a cute little gingham bow. Dollar Tree has gingham pink ribbon, which I'm so excited about because it's going to be so great for spring. They only had 2 rolls at my store though, sad fact, so I am going to have to wait patiently. Hopefully they get it back in stock, and I need to go check out their Easter goodies too, but I am so in the midst of my Valentine's Day crafting. I'm really not ready to think about Easter crafting yet, but I probably should, because if Dollar Tree starts putting it out, I'm gonna miss out on all the goodies. Anyway, okay, so I took some pink and white striped ribbon, and I'm just going to add that to the front of my cabinet, kind of like I did my Christmas cabinets. I have some little you know, of the Command Strip brand sticker tabs in the back of my cabinet, and I just added a tiny bit of glue to the back of that and then to the backs of my heart. Yes, I'm adding a little bit of hot glue. My cabinets are painted with semi-gloss, but this glue is just going to go on the ribbon part, so never fear. I did this for both my cabinets and I am absolutely loving it. I hope that they stay up, crossing my fingers and toes. And then for the other side of the cabinet, I did a similar one, but I did not cut into any more of my wallpaper because I have got to save it for a wallpaper project. Now let me know if you guys think I should add that wallpaper to my bedroom or if I should use it in my studio. I really want to use it in my living room, which would be super girly and probably ridiculous, but it would just be so beautiful to look at. I've also thought about using a blue wallpaper in my living room. Let me know if you guys think this would just be way too pink and not match the gray and white tone walls that I have. I don't know, but it's peel and stick, so it's not too big of a commitment, and hopefully I get to figure that out soon because I'm really excited to do this project. So fun and fabulous on a total budget. Now this DIY is more of a trash to treasure project or kind of a thrift flip project, but this little thrifted basket is super inexpensive, and you guys get these also when you get plants if somebody gives you a plant. But what I want to do is give it a little bit of life. Now it wasn't bad just being that white color, but I felt like it could use a little zhuzh, a little love, so I'm taking my pale pink paint. I found this at Michael's craft store, and it is such a beautiful pale pink because it's just very subtle. It's not too in your face pink, but we love in your face pink as well around here. I just want to make it a pretty shabby chic basket, and I feel like adding a little coat of paint to some baskets really just gives them some new life, and it would be fun actually to find some more of these baskets and maybe decorate the top of my cabinets with some pretty baskets with bows on them. Now I've given myself an idea, and it makes me think I need to go straight to the thrift store to look for baskets, even though I probably should just be shopping my garage for some baskets. I don't know. What do you guys think? I have been so creative lately and so excited to transform my home into such a little romantic, sweet little cottage. And I was looking online today because there was an article that got written about me being a Barbie girl and about my backyard pink patio. I remember doing that interview. It was for MSN, and so I posted on my Facebook if you guys want to go see that. They got where I lived wrong, but the rest of it was pretty cute, and there's even a picture of Benji Beer in there. So anyway, just give your basket a good coating, and then I am adding another coating of Mod Podge to seal in my chalk paint. That's one thing I feel like I don't do that I need to do more, is really seal in my work. I think it'll last longer and I'll be happier with reusing things if I have it sealed, because chalk paint is just kind of chalky and I want it to not flake off and also just have some longevity to it. So anyway, and you know how some of these baskets, when they're kind of older, they can get a little flaky and weird. I thought that would help as well. So once I had added all my Mod Podge, I was thinking about really how do I want to jazz up my basket? I know I want to do something, and I'm adding in even kind of some different shades with a little bit of white and mixing in the Mod Podge. My Mod Podge is going to have pink and white paint in it, but I guess that's just gonna have to be okay. Okay, so now I found this ribbon that I was repurposing and reusing. This was at Hobby Lobby last year, but it's so gorgeous. It has the prettiest little red roses, and if you guys see my puppy dog off to the right over here, he was ready for his walk. He was done watching Mom craft, and so I did have to pause a couple times and throw his little toy for him. But if you guys have ever had a terrier, I call it, they're kind of like, they're just very demanding, I would say. So he is not going to take no for an answer, so I had to throw his little toy so I could buy myself a little bit more time to finish this project for you guys. But he's back, and I will tell you, he got to play and he got to walk once I was done finished filming. He got a big old long walk, and I'll share with you guys that walk because he had his cute little Christmas sweater on. It has been so cold where I'm at. Anyway, on to the craft. So we're just making an easy bow. You just take your loops, fold them over on themselves, hot glue them together, and then zip tie your tails. Make sure you also dovetail the ends of your ribbon, and then just take a scrap piece of ribbon and wrap that around, and you're gonna have a very fancy, fabulous bow that you can add to the front of your basket if you want to make it look kind of like a grandma shabby chic, Love Shack fancy inspired basket, to add the bow to the front. And you guys can use any color when you paint your basket, any color that you love in your home. Red, purple, pink, green, white, whatever color you want to paint your pretty basket, and whatever type of ribbon you want to use. Now, they had this ribbon at Hobby Lobby last year. Hopefully, if you guys want to go replicate this, they will have it again this year. It wasn't super expensive, and I think it was part of their spring line. So maybe if they don't have it yet, they'll get it in for spring. But I also saw some really beautiful floral ribbon. I believe it was on Amazon. If you just Google roses ribbon or ribbon with roses, it's wired ribbon, so it stands up really nicely. I did have to do some gluing to get it on there, but once I had that done, then I was set to go, just trimming up my tails and fluffing things up. I set this in my kitchen because I feel like every kitchen needs a little basket that you can throw some cute things in, and also to disguise the outlet that's in my house. I hate seeing outlets for some reason. Okay, so here is how my basket is coming along, and you can see my little puppy dog Benji Bear in the background, but I just popped some cute little hearts in it and some pretty vintage plates, and bam, we have a fabulous decor piece on a total budget. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I found this gorgeous box of roses at Dollar Tree, you guys, and they were $5 though. But you know how I love the Forever Roses New York that are so gorgeous. Now, of course, these aren't real roses, but what I want to do is I want to paint over the black box. Now, really, there was nothing wrong with the black box, but I'm going for a really shabby chic spring light and airy look at my home this year. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it with a nice healthy layer of Waverly white chalk paint. Now, once I had 2 layers of chalk paint painted on, I went ahead and sealed my pretty roses box with some matte Mod Podge. I feel like this is going to give my project a lot more longevity, and the boxes also held up really nicely to my painting. Now, you could tie a pretty ribbon around it. I did want to let these dry overnight before I started tying anything on it, and I popped them into my kitchen decor, and I just think they look so gorgeous. And I haven't a feeling I'm probably going to move these around to different spaces in my home. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I also splurged a little bit and got these $5 Dollar Tree light up roses. You just have to undo the back with a screwdriver, a tiny screwdriver, and then pop 2 AA batteries in it. And I'm going to use these on my chandelier in my dining room. So I also just took and I tied this satin ribbon into a pretty bow. Super easy to do, and this was left over from another project, and I'm going to tie these on to my chandelier as well. So I'm just going to drape the little roses over the chandelier arms. This is super easy to do. You guys know I usually get really crazy and do really big fluffy full garlands on my chandelier, but I felt like it just needed to be kept kind of simple, and then I tied the pretty bows on, and I just felt like that came out so gorgeous. I'm using this curtain panel that my sweet friend Lorena gave to me, and then I just added some pretty roses to the center. And here is a peek of my Valentine's Day tree. Go back and watch that video if you guys missed it. I did a full tutorial on my Valentine's Day tree, as well as my Valentine's mantle and my front door. Okay, and here's my little puppy dog, Benji Bear. As promised, he has his sweet little sweater scarf on. He got to see some of his best friends today, his best girlfriend, who lives on another street over, and her name is Gracie. And then Gracie has a sister called River, and then their next door neighbor's name is Crew, and he is a really cute, oh gosh, I'm not for sure what he is, but he's like one of those really just sweet, playful dogs, which a lot of dogs are sweet and playful, but Crew is the type of dog that everybody knows in the neighborhood. He'll come visit you at your house, and he just gets along with all the dogs. He's super sweet, super playful. But they were all out in their yard, and Benji Bear had his little sassy sweater on. I wasn't for sure if it looked cool or if it looked kind of dorky. You know, if Benji Bear was a person, would he be embarrassed about his sweater? I put the sweater on though because terriers don't have a lot of hair underneath their little body, and so I was just so worried that he was going to get cold, which I don't think he does. But when I came home from the gym, look at him. So I had cuddled him up in a blanket, and usually he jumps up to come greet me, but look, he was still cuddled up in his blankie. It was so funny. He wasn't moving. That's how cold it's been, and by his favorite window, I'm guessing it was probably a little bit cold. But here is an overview of my house again. I hope you guys are loving my kitchen. It just makes my heart sparkle and shine to get creative, and I can't wait to share with you guys my romantic Valentine's Day home tour. Is going to be coming up as we continue to craft and get ready for spring crafting. So fun and fabulous. And then Benji Bear wants to say good night. He loves you guys so much. He found a little scrap on the floor. I think that was probably a little cookie piece. We made some homemade chocolate chip cookies. So we love you guys so much, and we're so thankful. Now stay tuned. I do have a giveaway going on, and also we're going to do our daily devotional. We love you guys so much. Benji Bear says roof roof. Simple little dollar store Christmas shirt box, and I am going to transform it into a Love Shack fancy inspired faux cake. These are going to go underneath my Christmas tree for Valentine's Day. I'm super excited. So what you want to do first is grab some pink paint. I found this baby pink paint at Michael's, and I'm just simply brushing it on very lightly to the top of my fake cake. I love creating these fake cakes, and I've never done one this size, so I'm super excited to transform this. I actually started working on these last night when it was snowing. Okay, I'm also taking my brush and I'm going to make some fancy little swoops here. Now these are definitely not perfect, and it was a little bit hard to film and paint this section, so bear with me. But again, they don't have to be perfect. You want it to look more handmade, and the Love Shack fancy style is a very relaxed, fun style. Lots of roses and pinks and girly blues and purples. Let me know if you guys love Love Shack fancy. Have you had an opportunity to purchase any of their goodies? So I'm going to use some DAP lightweight spackling in a piping bag that you would use for decorating a cake. And then I'm using this pretty Love Shack Fancy paper, and I'm simply going to center that on my cake, and then I'm going to hot glue my little pieces on to the cake. So this is a super easy part. Now listen, you guys don't have to use this pattern. You guys could use any pattern that you love. You could also use wrapping paper, whatever colors you're decorating for with your fake cake. You guys use those colors. Now these are also great props for birthday parties, for tea parties, for if you just love girly glam stuff like me. You guys will love this idea. So just simply hot glue all your pretty pattern on, and I left some space because I want to pipe around this. Also bear with me because I was running low on my spackling. It was too late last night to go out because the blizzard had already started, and yes, it was basically a blizzard, and so I knew I was going to be running low, but we're going to get the majority of this cake done. So I'm just simply icing it around the edge of my little box to make it look like it's like a real cake. I would like to get some more spackling and possibly do some little roses on the ends. I think that would be so cute. I have never professionally decorated a cake before. I don't even know if I've not professionally decorated a cake. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm gonna go around the little photo part here. It would be really cute too to do something like this for like a birthday or an engagement party or something like that, and then put the person's name in the center. Wouldn't that be absolutely adorable? It would also be a fun cake to make in real life, to get printed a Love Shack Fancy cake, which I'm super excited because I posted a sneak preview of this DIY on my Instagram, and Love Shack Fancy commented on 3 of my posts. So thank you, Love Shack Fancy, if you watch this video. I absolutely adore your goodies and would love to collab with you guys, or a PR box or anything like that, or just the fact that you all commented. I am beyond blessed. Okay, so I did my little swoopy swoops on this side, and then I even made some like little fancy things that went down. Here is the finished look. What do you guys think? I'm absolutely crushing on these. They do need to dry. I need to finish the backs of them because again, the blizzard has me at home probably for at least another day. But also don't forget to stay till the end because I have a super awesome announcement. I am crushing on this Shabby Chic Love Shack Fancy girly grouping of things, because these are going to go on my very Love Shack Fancy inspired Christmas tree for Valentine's Day that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be so romantic, so shabby chic and girly. And again, you guys change up these colors to match your style, but I know my OG shabby chic girlies are loving this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. For this next DIY, we're going to take these scrolly Dollar Tree hearts. They're the Dollar Tree felt hearts, and then some crepe paper or streamers. These are also from Dollar Tree, and they're left over from my daughter's birthday. And I'm simply going to use the crepe paper to make ruffles. So you're going to very carefully add hot glue to the edge of your heart, and then take your crepe paper and just kind of push it on there to make ruffles. Now, I have really strong fingertips, so if you guys aren't used to gluing a lot, you might want to put on those little glue protectors. But this is such a fun and inexpensive craft. It was such a great craft project to do while I was snowed in today. You guys, I've been crafting to my little heart's content. Nowhere to go. The only thing I have to do is, cook lunch and dinner and whatnot and tidy up my house. But otherwise, I am free to craft. And I'm going to tell you, I made such a disaster in my studio. So just continue to add that crepe paper in and along your entire heart until you get through it. Now that I have all my fake ruffles on using the crepe paper, I'm going to tie this sweet little purple satin bow. And Dollar Tree also carries these hearts in red, so just think about doing this whole idea in red if you guys are doing red. Now, I've done red Valentine's Day the last couple of years, so we're just going to mix it up, and I'm going to bring back my shabby chic girly ideas that I originally started this channel with. And so I hope you guys are here for it, because I think Valentine's Day is the perfect day for love and and romance and roses and all things lacy and satin and just pretty. So, and you don't necessarily have to be romantically involved. You can romance your home. You can find a romantic, movie, book. You can just really add a little bit of touch of romance in and around your home and your life. I love to romance my life and my home and even my clothes. So I hope you guys are inspired. I added some more little baubles, some little flowers inside of there. And here is the finished look. I think I'm going to make another one of these and use these on either side of my mantle, where I usually use my big red roses wreaths. So I think they came out super beautiful, delicate, and oh so budget friendly. So for this next DIY, we're going to take a Dollar Tree candle and a piece of lace and simply tie it around the candle and make an easy little shoelace bow. My daughter actually brought this out to my studio while I was crafting, and I was like, wait, we have to show them what you created. I didn't even show her how to do this. She just had made this for her bedroom. I was like, this is such a perfect, easy DIY. There's her little sweet hand. And make sure though, when you tie your bow, that it's going to be low enough to where if you light your candle, that's not going to spark out. The next thing I'm going to do is take this beautiful little Victorian jewel. This is exactly how she had it on the candle, and these jewels are from Natalie at Totally Dazzled, and bam, we have a fabulous little fancy Victorian candle on a budget. Now this next DIY is going to be a repurpose and reuse of those shirt boxes that I have on hand. I'm simply going to trace out some hearts and freehand these. I want to make a Bridgerton inspired heart. You guys know that I posted a video with some Bridgerton goodies that Walmart has been setting out, which is so fun. I'm so glad all of this romantic decor is really going to be celebrated this year. So here is the paper table runner that they had at Walmart for $3, and there's so much paper on this, so you guys could really craft it up to your heart's content. If you love this look and you love this paper, I think it's beautiful. I think it would be beautiful framed, and I actually have a DIY in mind to possibly do with this. So super excited to share that with you guys if I'm able to execute it. But what you want to do now is, once you have your little hearts cut out, and you guys could also use cardboard to do this with if you don't have the little shirt boxes, you're just going to simply go ahead and add the hearts on, hot glue them. You could probably Mod Podge them, but I didn't really want any bubbles. And these are going to be so cute on a Valentine's Day Christmas tree, or just wherever you need that little touch of romance. And it's totally budget friendly, because I feel like after Christmas, we don't want to go all out spending tons and tons of money on really expensive Valentine's Day decor, because it is kind of a short holiday. I love using pastels though this year, because I'm really going to have a lot to decorate with for Easter, having all this pretty pastel ribbon and just all these goodies. Originally, about 7 years ago, when I started my YouTube channel, I did a Christmas home tour that I was featured in Vintage Holiday Magazine, and it was a Shabby Chic at Christmas that I had created, and it was such an honor to be able to do that. And then I kind of jumped on a little bit more of the farmhouse bandwagon and did a little bit more regular decor, but I am back this year to share with you guys all my Shabby Chic ideas live and in person. So I hope you guys are here for it, and if you're not a Shabby Chic girly girl, that's okay too. You guys can very easily just find some pretty paper to make some beautiful hearts with. So just easily take my ideas and make them your own. A friend of mine recently did some big cookie hearts that I had showed her, and she made them her own by painting them in her favorite Kansas City Chiefs colors, red, yellow, and black, and then adding those to a big Kansas City Chiefs Valentine's Day tree. So I thought that was really cool that she was able to have a vision of her own. So the next thing I want to do is just tie some little shabby bows on here. Super easy, super fun. And I wish I had some lace, you guys. I'm going to really need to stock up on some lace. I feel like I'm a little bit lacking in some of my girly fun goodies like that, but super cute and adorable. Okay, now for the next DIY, we are going to tackle a beautiful lantern floral. This is going to get kind of crazy, but we're going to start out with this greenery piece left over from Christmas. Don't toss out your greenery. You guys can use those in some of your crafting. And then I found this Michael's pink ribbon on clearance. It is so fabulous and gorgeous, and it's really a nice ribbon, you guys. It was 70% off. I may have to go back if I'm able to get unsnowed in and find some more of this, because I really love how vintage it looks and just pretty. But I made a quick little loopy bow and I added some tails. Some people can tie the bows where they keep the tails on. I am not good at doing that, so I just add my tails on after the fact. So bow challenged, even though I love big bows, and I cannot lie, you guys know I love my bows. Now I'm going to go ahead and dovetail the ends of my bows, give them a little twisty twist, and then from Hobby Lobby I just have this bundle of super inexpensive peonies, and then I'm going to add in some greenery and a smaller piece up here at the top. You guys get really creative with this lantern floral. You guys could also create this just as a floral without having the lantern, so whatever little base you're using, just kind of use this decor idea. I'm going to add in some white flowers to offset the amount of girly pinks that we have going on. And then I am going to add a heart into the center of this. But as I was doing this voiceover, I was thinking, you know what? You guys could easily use this for Easter because of these really pretty colors. Simply add in maybe some gingham blue or purple ribbon to break up some of the pinks and make it a little bit less Valentine's-y. And then add in some eggs and a cute little bunny or whatever little Easter goodies you guys might have on hand. I'm adding in some more florals just to kind of really get ooh la la wow. I had made these cute little cardboard cookie hearts, and I'm simply going to add one into the center here. I like to put them on a shish kebab stick because then you can just pick them into pretty much any decor that you're working on. And boom, how are we looking here? We need a little bit more greenery in my opinion, but you guys know I love it. More is more. I love all the fancy goodies. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add in some of these Christmas picks. Another little fun fact, you guys can use some of your less Christmas sparkly stuff in some of your Valentine's Day decor, or use the sparkle, whatever suits your fancy. I wanted this to be just kind of vintage chic. I did add a little scrap of ribbon to give it some romance, and here is the final look. What do you guys think? This is my first Valentine's Day floral of the season, with more to come. I'm going to be doing my mantle, my Valentine's Day Christmas tree, although I took on quite a challenge DIYing all of the goodies for my Christmas tree, so I was up very late making all of the Love Shack fancy cookie hearts and all the different prints, and I can't wait to make more. I'm super excited for that. Now for this DIY, this is a super easy way you guys can transform some of your decor that might already be red like mine. These are those tinsel hearts. I believe they're either from Dollar Tree or maybe from Walmart, but I'm just going to take some crepe paper. Again, this is just streamers I had left over from decorating my daughter's birthday. She turned 18 this year, and we decorated in pink and white, which you guys know is my favorite color ever, and she's such a little girly girl. Anyway, you're just going to take and wrap your heart in this crepe paper, and that's going to transform it into a different color. And think about this, you know, streamers come in so many different colors. You guys could easily make whatever color of hearts that you wanted. You could go purple, blue, yellow, green, pink, white, whatever suits your fancy. I'm going to be transforming several of my hearts that are already red because you really can't paint that tinsel, but I don't want these sweet little hearts to go to waste. So we're going to salvage them and make them oh so chic and fabulous. And I cannot wait to share with you guys the big announcement that I have. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so romantic. Also, make sure that you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel because I am going to be hosting some new giveaways next week. Okay, so I'm taking some of that Walmart Bridgerton paper. The Bridgerton section at my super center was at the very beginning. It's like in their $3 and $5 and $1 section, kind of like the Target dollar spot. I think maybe it's the Walmart dollar spot, I'm guessing. So I'm just going to take some of the paper and trace it out and just put that on the back of the heart. Really, this was maybe a little bit more extra than needed to be, but if you're trying to add in a pattern into your tree, your Valentine's Day decor, this is such a gorgeous pattern. I love it. I feel like it looks really European and oh so fabulous and chic. So fun and fabulous. And how budget friendly is this? Basically, we had almost everything on hand. What are you guys thinking about this year's Valentine's Day decor? I hope you're loving it. And if you guys aren't decorating for Valentine's Day, that's okay. We're going to have so many fun crafts coming up this year. Enjoy winter, enjoy all the things, and get in the mood for love and romance. And again, romance can be all different kinds of things. So I love y'all so much. Go ahead and make a big, beautiful Olivia bow. And I just call it Olivia bow for reference, but this is going to be my 3-layered bow. You're going to take and start out with wired ribbon, and I start out with 16 inches in length. Now this is going to go on my outdoor garland, so I want to be really big, so just reduce the size for whatever size you're decorating for, whatever space, wreath, garland, tree, whatever you have it. Now the next is going to be a 14-inch, and this ribbon is actually from Dollar Tree. It's so adorable. It's a little bit flimsy, as all the Dollar Tree ribbon is, but you're going to take your ribbon loops, loop it over on itself 4 times. The first one is 6 times for that big back bow, and then go 4 times. You could do 6 times for the second one, but sometimes it makes it a little crowded, and I didn't have enough ribbon to do the 6 times on that. Okay, and then the last set of loops is going to be 12 inches. So 16, 14, 12, 2 inches apart on each one. And just reduce the sizes. This one is that Michael's ribbon that's wired, and it's pink satin, which I am so in love. This is probably my most favorite ribbon in the whole world. It's a little bit pricey, but we're just gonna roll with it. And then don't forget also to kind of dovetail the ends. That way when they pop out, they'll be nice and pretty. And then just stack everything together. Find the center, so just take the whole stack of loops and fold it. Find that center. Now, this part is optional. You can cut little tiny notches in each side of your ribbon, but be super careful here because you don't want to cut very big. If you cut too far into your ribbon, it's going to make your bow loops really floppy, but it is going to help you kind of fan it out more. Again, it's optional. You could just zip tie it in the center. And then once you have it zip tied in the center, the next part is the secret sauce to your bow making. You guys know I love big bows and I cannot lie, but you really, really, really want to fluffy out those loops. So trim off the zip tie. You guys could also use a pipe cleaner or floral wire, whatever you have on hand in your craft stash, and really give those loops a big fluffing. So comment down below if you guys have questions about this. This is the original Olivia bow that I taught you guys years ago, and then some of you all are new here, so if you're new, welcome. But this is just a really simple, easy bow hack. There's no tools required. You guys could easily just even use, you know, a ruler, a kid's ruler, or you could just measure it out if you don't have a measuring mat with a tape measure, whatever suits your fancy. And again, this bow is a big, pretty big, giant bow that's going to go above my door in the garland. And I'm going to share with you guys how I'm doing my front door. I gave you some teasers, sneak peeks on my Facebook and Instagram, but it's just my Christmas tree garland that's over my door that I like to redo seasonally. So I'm super excited to turn it into a Valentine's Day romantic, just beautiful. It's just going to be oh so fun and beautiful. Now, once you have all your ribbon loops fanned out, and so when you cut the notches, that allows you to kind of twist your ribbon and really shape it into the bow that you want. I really feel like it's looking really nice, but it's going to get squished around, so you're going to have to refluff it after you attach it to whatever you're attaching it to. Now, I make my tails separately. It's just an easier way to do it, less, you know, bow tying with hands and all that kind of fun stuff. Don't forget to dovetail the ends, and by dovetailing the ends, you just want to cut a little triangle in an upwards direction. I ran short on the pretty Dollar Tree ribbon, but that's okay. We're going to make the best of it. So I'm going to layer in the same 3 ribbon for my tails that I'm layering into my bow. Now, I'm not doing these tails super uber extra long because it's going to go in my garland, and I still want some places in my garland where I can add in roses and florals. And once you have your tails cut, just simply attach them into your bow with a zip tie and really zip tie it in really good. I don't know if you guys get wind where you're decorating outside your home, but this could also be used inside your home. For me, the zip ties just really hold everything together really nicely and securely. I like that. I'm a safety girl, so I don't want anything falling apart, and they're easy to use for us ladies who may be having a little bit of problems in our hands. The zip ties get everything on. And then again, you're going to give your ribbon a little bit more fluffing. Now, if I was doing a tree topper, I would take 2 of these bows and put them together. I had somebody ask me, what do you do to cover up the zip ties? Super easy. Take a smaller piece of ribbon and simply wrap them around the bow. So easy peasy. And you're just going to add like a little bit of ribbon right here, lace, whatever you have on hand. It's a great thing to use scrap ribbon on. Just tie that around the center, and that's going to easily cover up that bow. Now pop a heart into the center of it and you are good to go. So for the next DIY tutorial, we are going to create some pretty little romantic bows, and I'm simply going to take this thrift store lace and cut it into strips. I'm going to create several different types of bows with this lace, as well as a pretty bracelet. I can't wait to share that with you guys as well. I had created some pretty lace bracelets for my nieces to honor their mama, my sister, and anyway, so one of you all had asked about that bracelet, and so I'm going to share with you guys a little bit later in this video how kind of I created that. We're going to do a little bit of a different spin on it, but once you have your piece of lace, double it up and then simply tie it into a shoelace bow. So a shoelace bow is just a little bow hack. You're going to tie it like you're tying your shoelaces. Now this is going to make a double bow, which is going to make a little bit more of a fluffy bow. Fun fact here, you guys could cut strips of any fabric to create this kind of scrappy bow. And then I'm going to take some Dollar Tree ribbon, simply wrap the ribbon around it and, tie it into a bow. And then you have a beautiful bow that you can use anywhere to give a romantic touch. You could tie it around a lamp. You could tie it onto another bow, Christmas tree, garland, your dog, whatever. Just kidding. Suits your fancy. So I'm going to make a couple of these just to have them on hand to pop in into some little spaces. I'm getting my home ready for a romantic home tour for Valentine's Day. Let's call it a Galentine's Day party on my channel. We'll have a Galentine's Day party. I'm going to try to do a giveaway once a week for you guys, and stay tuned at the end of this video because I'm going to share with you guys this next week's giveaway. It's going to be a super sparkly one. I also want to find some other really unique treasures to give to you. And I want to thank one of my sweet followers and friends, Christina, for sending me a new pack of scissors today. They came in. Girlfriend, thank you so much. I was talking to you guys about how dull my scissors had gotten over Christmas, and she blessed me with new scissors. Okay, now, here is an interesting bow idea. Take some crepe paper and make kind of an Olivia bow using crepe paper. So you're just going to take your crepe paper and loop it over on itself. So I decided to do like the same kind of bow that I make when I make an Olivia bow. Just take it, loop it over on itself 4, 5, 6 times, however many times that you want to, and then trim it off and set it aside, and then we'll add another loop as well. These are so fun and easy to make, and this is such a budget-friendly bow to make. So if you guys don't have money for ribbon, I got you, girlfriend. We're going to make some easy bows, cut some tails. I think that this is just kind of a fun bow. And what I think about this bow too is nice is it's super budget friendly. You can make up a bunch of these and use them for a birthday party, a bridal shower, a baby shower. Crepe paper comes in all different colors, so just have fun with it. This could also be a really kid-friendly craft because there's no gluing involved. So you're going to take your ribbon, loop it over on itself 4 to 6 times, however full you want your bow, stack it on top of each other, pinch it off in the center, grab that zip tie to zip tie it off, cut some tails also. If you go ahead and cut your tails and attach them with your zip tie, you only have to use one zip tie. And since that crepe paper doesn't really move around a lot, that's a pretty good, easy way to do it. Now, don't forget to make your ends look nice. We don't want to have scrappy ends, even though this is a little bit of a scrappy bow. I doubled up my tails here. I'm going to pinch it together in the center. So fabulous, oh so chic. And I think these look really very vintage chic. Tie it off with that zip tie. Oh, I almost forgot to add in a pink layer of tails. We have to make everything all nice and fluid. But again, this is such a fun and easy craft and so budget friendly, great for parties. You guys could even add these onto your Valentine's Day Christmas tree. I wish I would have thought about that. I probably would have saved quite a bit of ribbon on my Christmas tree decorating, but hindsight 2020. Another thing that would look pretty in the center of this would be one of your coffee filter roses if you love those coffee filter roses. Here's another fun and fabulous bow idea. Let's make a tuxedo bow with a napkin. So just take your napkin and fold it in an accordion style. Just fold it back and forth, and then pinch it in the center. And look at that, we have a cute little tuxedo bow. These bows just popped into my head today. So you guys know I love big bows and I cannot lie. And then I'm just gonna take a little zip tie that off together. You guys could also hot glue that in the center, or you could add a little bit of wire or pipe cleaner. I feel like the zip tie on this bow is a little bit aggressive, but you know what? It stays together really well. I'm just going to trim that off. And then another fun thing you guys could do, I took some of this Love Shack Fancy wallpaper, and I'm just going to trim out one of the little bows from the wallpaper and add that to the center of my tuxedo bow. So now we have a Love Shack Fancy fabulous bow. So many fun ideas for this bow, and any pretty napkin. You guys can make bows that can coordinate with whatever decor that you're decorating with. So this would be some great party ideas. Now stay tuned for more. We're gonna tackle that big garland outside my home and keep making some more pretty bows. for this next DIY, we're going to make a pretty lacy bracelet. This is just going to be made out of scraps from my little thrift store curtain. And what I did was cut three strips. I cut 3 strips, and what I'm going to do is just take and hot glue all 3 strips together. This is going to be such an easy little bracelet to make. You can make them in any color. I made these for a similar bracelet for my nieces in honor of my sister. And you're just going to take and glue all these 3 pieces together, and then we're going to braid them. Now, the original ones I didn't braid, but I just thought this was a fun idea because then you can add in another ribbon color. So I'm going to use this pretty pink ribbon. It's a thin ribbon and it's from Dollar Tree, and you're just going to hot glue that in to the end. And here is what my strips look like. You just want to make enough strips that you can braid. So you need 3 strips. I used 4, but I'm just going to take that the colored strip and just add that into the braid as I braid. So super easy, you guys. Braid just like you're braiding your hair. I'm going to take a little paper clip, or not paper clip, clothespin. You could use a paper clip, and just clip the ribbon to the end of this piece of paper so I have something to braid on. And the next part is super easy. You just braid all those pieces together. Now, once you have your pieces braided together, you're going to measure the size of your wrist or whoever you're making it for. And then I just simply took, and once I had the right size, I kind of pinched it together, and then you're going to hot glue those pieces of lace together. So super easy. I did leave some extra lace to kind of hang down to make it just feel and look a little bit more romantic. And then you can also tie the extra piece of ribbon around where you hot glued your 2 ends together. So basically it's just like a braided bracelet, and then you're just going to add some ribbon. You guys can use any ribbon that you love. This is such a fun little project and a great project for kiddos, grandkids. Just help them with the hot gluing part, and you don't necessarily have to hot glue it together. You could sew the ends if you didn't want to use hot glue, or you could even tie off the ends, kind of like a friendship bracelet type of tie. But I'm just taking simply a easy little piece of ribbon and just easily making a bow at the end just to make it more pretty and fancy. This part is extra, but I'm a little bit extra and I wanted it to match my pretty outfit today for when I'm decorating outside my home, celebrating the upcoming month of love and romance. Starting with, go ahead and start it right now. We're going to romance our home, romance our lives, and just make everything so pretty and romantic. Now it's time to take some of those bows and decorate outside my home. So this was just a little Walmart Christmas garland that I had, and I left it up because I knew I was going to do a really pretty Valentine's Day decoration idea. So I'm going to start and add that big fluffy bow in the center. This is the bow that we made earlier, and I'm going to zip tie it to the top part of my garland here and really fluff it up. I always fluff it up and then look at it again after I've been adding in roses and florals, and I feel like they get unfluffed. So it's almost like I need to fluff them every day, but that would be tedious and time consuming, and it never happens. By the end of the season, they are always looking a bit floppy, but right now they're nice and full and fluffy. So zip tie your bows on, give them a good fluffing. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys decorate the front door like I do? Do you do a little wreath on your front door for Valentine's Day? How do you decorate the front of your house for Valentine's Day? Or do you just simply take a break from Christmas? Or do you have your Christmas up? Or are you decorating for winter wonderland? Let me know. I would love to hear what you guys are up to today. Now I decided to add in some wisteria to the top because I'm feeling a little bit Bridgerton mixed with Love Shack Fancy. I think that those two should collaborate somehow. Wouldn't that be amazing? One of my most favorite shows and one of my most favorite designers. Now, side note here, Bridgerton is a spicy show made for adults. I just wanted to let you know, but it is a period drama, and you can fast forward through those spicy parts and just really enjoy the cinematography of it, because the love stories and the cinematography are just really beautiful. And you know, I think that their characters are also funny, and I love that. I just love the sassiness of it. Okay, so we're adding in the wisteria branches to the top, and honestly, looking back, I think that it looks really beautiful, almost stopping right here. Do you guys know me? I love to go a little bit crazy and keep on adding things. So we are going to add in some of my coffee filter roses and some more bows and just layers of goodness. Now these are those coffee filter roses that I have been sharing with you guys how to make. I hope that that tutorial is not getting old. I may need to repost it though again for any of my new people on here that haven't seen me make those, but they come out so beautiful and realistic, and they're so budget friendly. You can make about 15, 20, 30 roses with a pack of coffee filters. You only need 6 coffee filters for each rose. And so I just feel like they're so budget friendly and they look so realistic. I feel like they look realistic. Can you guys tell the difference between a real fake rose and a coffee filter rose from here? I just think they're fabulous and just, oh, I'm in love with them. So I'm just adding them in with some zip ties, and I had clipped them to some greenery. Now that we've really fluffed up this front garland, I'm just going to add in these little pink topiary, or they're pink spheres, to my little front planters. Now these are just those greenery balls from Hobby Lobby. They're big greenery pieces, I guess. And I had painted them pink, and I shared that tutorial with you guys back during the summer. But you just take some pink spray paint from Walmart and give them a good couple of coatings, and then I'm just tucking in some of this fake grass that you find at Hobby Lobby in and around the base of my planters. And here is the final look. What do you guys think? I was racing against the clock to get this garland done. It was starting to get cold, and it started to rain right when I was filming this last part, so apologies that I didn't get more of this, but I hope you guys are loving it. What do you think? It's very Bridgerton meets Love Shack Fancy meets Shabby Chic, and I'm super excited for it. It just feels so romantic and pretty. And those heart check hearts, I did a tutorial with you guys back during July. Let me know if you want me to make a big video with all these tutorials together, in case you guys want to catch up on any of them. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create the most adorable fake bake cake. So I grabbed one of these heart-shaped tins from Dollar Tree, and I'm painting it a soft pink with my favorite Dixie Belle chalk paint in soft pink. This color is the bee's knees, you guys. Everything. It is so pretty. I feel like I wish everything in my entire house was painted this color. It's just the perfect pale pink without too much pink. Anyway, so fill a piping bag with your DAP Featherweight Spackling. It's patch and paint, and you can grab it at Home Depot. Now, don't overfill your bag like I did. I put way too much spackling in this bag, so it made it a little bit hard for me to use, but hindsight 2020, next time I know. Anyway, I'm just using one of the little ruffly tips, and I'm going in and along my little heart-shaped fake bake to create a fun little fake heart-shaped cake. I have an Etsy shop that I put my little cakes in, and people buy them for decor and for birthday party props or wedding props. So they're super fun to make, and I just have fun making them. So I thought you guys might want to attempt this fun craft. Now they sell the DAP patch and paint. You want to get the featherweight spackling, and it's the brand DAP that I feel like works the best. And you want to get, you can get different sizes. Now I was at Home Depot and I got this batch, and I think that it had been at a construction site and then brought back from what the guys said. And so the spackling, I think I need to add just a tiny bit of water too, because I was having a little bit of trouble getting it out of the piping tip. Here's how it's looking so far. Now I have to do these in stages. So this cake was one I had done a couple of days ago, and I let it dry. I usually do the tops of my cake first, and then I do the base. If you happen to purchase one of my cakes, they are made with so much love. I am not a baker. I've never even really done a birthday cake like this. Actually, I did attempt one last year with real icing, and let me tell you, for me, fake icing is so much easier to use, but these are just for fun and they are not perfect. You're going to see little imperfections in them, but I think they come out really cute. Look at that little Dollar Tree heart-shaped cake. I really started doing these and getting more practice in last season after Valentine's Day was over, and I had a lot of requests for heart-shaped cakes, so I'm trying to get some built up in my stock that's beyond what I like to keep and decorate for. Here's another one that I did, and again, I have to do them in stages. So if you see the ones that have a little bit more fancy icing, like I'll go back into the Dollar Tree one and add some pink icing, but I do have to let it dry for a couple of days to be able to really handle it for that spackling to really dry. So I hope you guys love this and try this one. Super fun and fabulous and very budget friendly. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to take some Dollar Tree candles and some of this little Dollar Tree craft paint. And I'm simply going to paint hearts onto the candles. I have seen this craft done so many times, and I have really wanted some little heart candles. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to make my own. Originally, I started out painting these, trying to paint bows on them, and that did not go very well. I'm going to tell you this right now, that painting on the wax was pretty tricky. And you know what? It just came to mind. I'm wondering if I laid down a layer of Mod Podge on the wax first, if that would have made it easier to paint on. But I will tell you, I'm going to be honest with you guys, my fine motor skills are not as good as they used to be as far as painting detail stuff, but I really had fun with this. And when I messed up on one, I just simply took a towel and I just kind of dried it off. So I painted one row layer of hearts, and apologies, it was a bit hard to paint and show this exactly on camera, but you guys know the drift. I'm just simply painting little hearts. I think I have a better clip as we go along. Now I did paint them and then end up coloring them in with just a little bit more of the pink paint, and I felt like that looked a little bit more like hearts. So anyway, you guys could do these with your kids, your grandkids. It's just super fun with some craft paint and some little wax candles. And it would probably be even easier if I had some larger candles to work on. But I think these are coming out so super duper cute, and just keep painting those hearts and having fun with it. So once I had all the pretty hearts painted, I just found this little candlestick that I bought it at Michael's a couple of years ago, and I'm using this really pretty shiny satiny Dollar Tree ribbon. I thought this was so pretty for Dollar Tree. I was like, ooh la la. I was never sure how it was gonna look when I saw it on the roll, but it looks really, really pretty and vintagey. So I added the pretty ribbon and then just trimmed those tails, and then I decided to add a pretty little rose bow to the center, just super pretty and shabby chic. And I just thought this would be really pretty. I think I'm gonna put it in my bathroom for Valentine's Day. I think it just came out so cute and adorable. I wish my hearts were a little bit better, but you guys give me some grace. Anyway, just have fun crafting. It doesn't have to be perfect, right, guys? And so here's how it's looking with all of my pretty cakes. I cannot wait to share with you guys this really beautiful coffee filter rose. Okay, so for this craft, we're going to do a coffee filter rose. You're going to need 4 coffee filters. I have 2 that I had dyed a pale pink and then 2 that are just white. You can use any color of coffee filter rose you want. You're going to take it and you're going to fold it over several times, and then you're just going to take and trim a round shape at the top. We're going to do the exact same fold. So fold 1, 2, 3 times, and you're going to do that to all of them. You could even maybe fold a 4th time, but I folded it 3 times. I felt like that came out just fine. Okay, so you're going to trim all the little tops around, give them a little lop off. Super easy to do. You guys can do this. Your kiddos and grandkids can help you do this. A lot of people also ask me about how to dye them. You simply take some craft paint, dip your coffee filter in a little bit of craft paint and water, and then dry it out. You can even bake them at 200 for about 30 minutes. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you're going to trim out one little section, 1 petal. Then for the next one, you're going to trim out 2 petals. This is so easy to do. You guys can totally do this. For the next rose, you're going to trim out 3 petals. Again, so easy to do. Do not panic. This is not going to be hard. And then 4 petals, 4 petals for your last rose. Now you're going to take and you're just going to hot glue your little petals together. This is super easy. You guys got this so far. So I'm just going to take a little dab of hot glue and hot glue that together. And then I'm going to set it aside. And I'm going to do that for all 4 of those first petals. And the next part, you guys could also take and roll your roses. I'm going to show you how to do that. But you're just going to continue to glue here. What do you guys think about my little rose background that I added for my table? My table is just so painted and icky looking. I thought it would be so cute. I had some extra contact paper that one of my sweet friends had sent me, and so I just thought it'd be so beautiful. So anyway, once you have that done, you can take a pencil, gather all your little petals together, and you can roll. So you're just going to give it a little roll, and that's going to give your pretty little rose kind of some, just some rosy petals, because roses do have kind of like a little petally look. So once I had that done, you can grab your hot glue, and you can hot glue all 4 of those together. We're just going to continue to roll those little petals out. You can also do the petal rolling before you glue them together, but I felt like this was just fine, and this worked fairly well. Okay, once you have that done, you're going to hot glue in the center, and you're going to add in your first layer of roses. Super easy peasy. You guys have got this. You can't mess this up, truly. I promise you, even when you think you might be messing it up or it's not going to come out, these come out really well. I did about 15 of them last weekend, and I felt like that they just were all really pretty. And they all weren't perfect, but I don't know. I think they're pretty. So look how pretty it is. Now this is more of a big open tea rose type of look. I've shared with you guys different tutorials on this. Now take your rose that you cut out last and curl it into like a smaller petal, and you're going to hot glue that together. I like to kind of bend and mash my petal, or you can just trim it off because it seems like it's a little bit long to go inside there, but you're just going to continue to do that and glue all the rest of your little petals in. So these are all those smaller pieces. Roll them like a little burrito, give them a bit of hot glue. You can trim or bend and then pop some hot glue in, and then just pop it in there again. See how beautiful this is looking? It's really looking like a beautiful rose. Okay, you're going to bend and twirl again and then pop it in there. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then the last one is probably the trickiest part. This one is necessary to get in there, but it's a little bit hard. Sometimes I'll use my pencil to kind of push it down in there. Again, roll it. I did trim this one off and then gave it a little bit of a roll and then hot glue it in there. Use your pencil to get in there a little bit better. And then here's your beautiful rose. Oh my goodness, you guys, I think these are so pretty. I just love how they turn out. Fun and fabulous and oh so budget friendly. More than anything with this project, you're just going to need a hair of patience. For this next DIY, we're going to take my trash and turn it into treasure. I'm tracing out these cute little hearts and then I'm going to paint them. All you need is a little bit of patience for this one. I've shared this craft with you before, but we're going to do it again because I don't know if you guys have realized the majority of my crafts that I make, I use them in my home to decorate with. I don't go out and buy super big tons of supplies to decorate my home with. I DIY a lot of the supplies. It's super budget friendly and fun. So once I had painted 2 coats on my hearts, let that dry, I grabbed my bag of spackling. This is the DAP featherweight spackling, and I'm just going to pipe some pretty little icing in and around my hearts. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you can tell I've probably gotten better at using my piping tips, and these would have been even better had I not overfilled my piping bag so much. But you know what? I got a little bit overzealous and excited, and I wanted to get a lot of projects done, and I did a lot of these hearts. I finished up the majority of my cakes, which made me really happy. I hate having unfinished products that are just sitting out or projects. I really don't have products. I do try to put some of my cakes in my Etsy shop, but I'll tell you, I noticed that my Etsy shop is looking rather low and sad. It doesn't have very many cakes in it, so I need to get back with it and get some done and put them in the shop for you guys. So if you guys need cakes, you better grab them before they're gone. Okay, so I'm just finishing up this little cutie pie. And once this dries a couple days later, I'm going to put them into the big garland that I'm going to do over my front door. So my sweet friend Arlene had sent me some beautiful ribbon. Thank you, Miss Arlene, and some other treasures. And I'm going to use that ribbon and make some big, beautiful bows and then add in these pretty little heart fake cookie type things, and I'll also include these probably in some of my cake orders. So I hope you guys are loving this. You're inspired. I love you guys so. For this Dollar Tree DIY, we're gonna make a beautiful Dollar Tree heart wreath. I'm taking a roll of Dollar Tree pink yarn and one of the Dollar Tree heart wreath forms, and I'm simply going to wind and glue the yarn around the wreath form. Now, this was a little bit tedious for me personally because it just took a lot of patience to get that yarn in and around the wire wreath form. Some places were easier than others, like in the little heart spot, but listen, this is a good exercise in patience. Put on a good audiobook. I've been listening to some really nice Christian romance audiobooks, and so I put that on, and that kept me pretty entertained, but have a little bit of patience and you can do this craft. And it's really budget friendly for how beautiful I feel like it comes out. So once you have all of the yarn wrapped around, you can just glue the yarn at the very end part. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add another Dollar Tree heart. Now, I had picked up some of the foam hearts from Dollar Tree. I painted mine a little bit more of a pale pink. I did that off camera. And then I just hot glued that foam heart into the yarn heart that we created and then added in just some pretty pink roses. This was super easy to do, and I just feel like it came out so beautiful, so simple. And you guys could do any color of heart. You could do red hearts with red roses, whatever you love. You guys know I'm a pastel girly. So here's how mine came out. I feel like it looks so pretty, and it was so inexpensive. It was just very tedious with getting the yarn around the wreath. But once I had that done, you guys, I feel like it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I hope you love it and try it. So for this Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a beautiful Love Shack fancy heart. Take one of the Dollar Tree wooden hearts and simply paint it white. I'm just using some white Waverly chalk paint. This is so easy to do, and the results are so beautiful, especially if you're a Shabby Chic Love Shack fancy girly. Now, if you guys don't have the Love Shack fancy tissue paper that I'm going to use on this project, you can easily use really any napkin or tissue paper that's pretty that you have on hand. You could even just cover this heart with some pretty craft paper. The next thing I'm going to do though to make my Love Shack fancy heart is I'm going to add a layer of Mod Podge. Now I did let my white paint dry first. So let your paint dry first, then you can add in the layer of Mod Podge. Then you're going to very carefully and very gently lay your piece of Love Shack fancy tissue paper over your white heart. Now be very careful with this because you don't want to tear it. So once I had that done, I let that kind of dry, and then I just took some scissors and I'm going to cut in and around the heart. Super easy to do right here. And I'm going to set that aside and let the whole Mod Podge project dry. Once I had that done, then I went back in with a little Mod Podge on the edge and got the tissue paper in and around the edge, and then with some little crafty trim that I found at Hobby Lobby, I'm going to trim out my pretty heart. And if any of you all live in the city where there's a Love Shack fancy store and want to send me tissue paper, I would be much obliged. But that's just a little, hey, I think there's some in Nashville and California and Florida and maybe the New York area, but there's definitely none close to me. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Okay, so I'm going to add in a little bit more ruffled trim in and around the rest of this heart, and then add a pretty little pink bow. Super easy to do. And then I had some pretty little satin hearts that I added on top of my bow. And bam, we have the most gorgeous Love Shack fancy heart all ready for Valentine's Day. I think I'm going to add some of these to my Valentine's Day Christmas tree, which I can't wait to share with you guys. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I am going to paint one of the Dollar Tree foam hearts, this pretty pink color. Now, the first time I painted this heart, I used this, I think it's called Paradise Pink paint. It was a little bit orangey for me for what I'm going for this project. So I let this color dry, and then I ended up painting over it with my soft pink chalk paint that I got from Dixie Belle Paints. I did that off camera, but just to give you guys like an update on what I did with this heart once I started using it in my project. The next thing I did was grabbed some Dollar Tree florals, and I will tell you the quality on these florals is not the best, but we're just going to do our best with them and snip off the ends, and then we're going to use them in what I love to call a floating floral arrangement. So I just take a piece of styrofoam, and then I put my little heart on the end of just a floral stem stick, and I popped that in to my floating floral. Now give me some grace because I'm in no spend January, and even though I know I'm in no spend January, I was on my way to Hobby Lobby after the gym today because I did not think I had one single greenery piece in my craft stash. I was convinced in my mind there was absolutely no florals or greenery in my craft stash to do this floral arrangement that I wanted to do. Lo and behold, I will tell you that I drove myself away from Hobby Lobby. I did not go into the store. I went ahead and went home because I felt like the Lord was like, girlfriend, you know you've got stuff, just use what you have. And so I was able to create this whole floral arrangement using things I already had. Now I really do wish that I had more greenery and just kind of some nicer looking roses, but I dug into my craft stash and found some nicer looking roses to mix in with my pretty little Dollar Tree roses, and I felt like this floral came out absolutely fabulous. It may not be as high end as some floral designers that you see, but you know what? This girl is working on a budget. I'm putting my daughter through school, and I'm going to be obedient and steward my money well. And I already bought these pretty florals from Dollar Tree that I shared with you guys in my Dollar Tree haul, which I was excited to do. So I'm going to go ahead and add in these beautiful little florals in and around the whole arrangement. Just have fun with it. Add in greenery and pretty florals, and just do your best to be content and thankful for the things that you have. Because trust me, you guys are probably like me. You probably have plenty of things in your craft stash to craft with. Now look at how pretty this is coming out. And do you know how good it feels to steward my money well and use the things I have and not be overwhelmed by buying more things when I already have things that I can already use? That's a big struggle, I feel like, as a crafter. It's so easy to think, oh, we have nothing in our craft stash, when lo and behold, we have so much. At least I personally do. I have more than what I need, and I know that. But it's just so fun to go buy new stuff. I feel like things can look even prettier when we have new things. So there's nothing wrong with buying some new crafting goodies either, but I'm just sharing my heart. So anyway, keep adding florals in and around your floating floral. And I like to make these because I love changing my mind around and adding these florals to different bases. So I have another floating floral that I did last year, and I move it around and add it to a crystal vase. I move it around to cherub planter, just all the things. Now, I did feel like that this heart just needed something else. The foam hearts from Dollar Tree, they're pretty, but they're just not the finished look. It just isn't super nice. So I thought, you know what? Let's make it even more beautiful and add some pearls in and around the edge. I had this pearl trim left over from my Christmas decorating that somebody so lovingly sent me. And so I'm going to add the pearl trim and then this bridal lace that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Oh, this is so beautiful. I know that I'm going to just use the heck out of this for my Valentine's Day decorating. It's going to look like a Valentine's Day bridal floral shop by the time I get done doing my house. But you know what? That's okay. So here's the final look. I did change out that bottom cream flower and, you know, zhuzhed it up a little bit. But here is how it looks. And I found the cherub planter bowl that this is at the thrift store. And then if you see that little gold cherub, I added that in too. And I just think it looks fabulous and gorgeous and all the things. So for this next DIY, we're going to take some of those boxes. These are Amazon boxes that I painted pink for my Christmas decor. And I had the wild idea to make this into a Ritz Paris Valentine's Day box. You guys know I love the Ritz Paris. I love watching videos. There's a lady that travels and she films her adventures going to the Ritz Paris, and it just looks so elegant. And so I always dream of going there. And I think, well, how would the Ritz Paris present their Valentine's Day Christmas tree? Of course, I'm sure they don't have that, but if they were to do that, they would just want it to be so luxurious. So I thought, let's paint some ritzy stripes on these boxes. Now, bear with me. And I got involved in this project thinking this would be easy, and it really wasn't too bad. I did this on a Sunday afternoon, so I painted about 4 or 5 boxes because that's what a crafty mama like me does. And if you guys can see my little puppy dog, Benji Bear, in the background, he loves to watch TV. He gets very involved in the shows and goes and barks and interacts with them. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have dogs that watch TV, because it's kind of wild. Not all dogs do, I guess. Now, I'm taking this gold paint pen that somebody sent me. Thank you very much for whoever blessed me with this gold paint pen. And I'm just going to add some gold paint in and around my stripes. Now, you're going to have to give me all the grace in the world. If you're a perfectionist, you will see that hand painting stripes is not my forte. It's very difficult for me. My hands do not stay steady. And as much as I would love for them to look perfect, they're not going to. We'll call this my Mackenzie Childs inspired DIY, because they hand paint their stripes and checks, and they're not, I'm sure, as wobbly as mine, but they don't look perfect. So there's no perfection here. This is hand painted, and that's how it's going to look. So I think it looks beautiful because I created this with so much love. So anyway, but I do know that it's not perfect. So if you're a perfectionist, don't look too closely at my stripes. Now, I was also blessed with this beautiful roses ribbon, and oh, how I would love to have more because it's so pretty. I think it would be beautiful to make big bows for my front door out of this. I'm going to use it sparingly. It was from Amazon, It's the most beautiful rose ribbon I've ever seen. It came with 4 rolls. So if I can hopefully use it very sparingly, I will get enough out of it to do some projects here. So I added this to my little Paris Ritz package and then just zip tied the ribbon together to kind of create a little loopy bow. And again, I'm going to go very sparingly with this. So no tails for this bow. Sorry, Mr. Bow. And then I just trimmed off my little zip tie here, and then I'm going to hot glue this to the front of the package. Now for this, I also decided to add in some roses and some tulle and this little Dollar Tree Valentine's Day heart that I had painted pink. And I just thought it looked so beautiful and fabulous and just the perfect, if I were to go to the Ritz Paris and had somebody hand deliver a nice gift to me, I feel like that this might be what it might look like with the fancy stripes and the beautiful rose bow and just all the beautiful details I added in a pretty satin ribbon. And I just think that this turned out absolutely gorgeous. What do you think could be inside if this was delivered to us at the Ritz? Well, we know that it's really just an Amazon box that I so lovingly painted stripes on. But you know what? I think I get a C for creativity. I hope you guys try it. It was fun to make. And I think it'd be even fun to make this into like a cake box as well. So I can't wait to share with you guys the idea that I have for my Valentine's Day Christmas tree. And as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one were you inspired to create. Big bows from my mirror, change it out for some of these big heart wreaths. I actually found these at Walmart a couple of years ago, and I coated them with a light dusting of pink spray paint. I actually just had a can of pink spray paint, and I wanted to make them, they were like a really bright red, and I wanted to make them a little bit of a lighter red. They still look pretty bright though, even after the spray paint. Now with my big bows, I decided, you know what, since I usually use those heart wreaths on my mantle, I'm going to change it out and do the bows. Now we'll come back to that. Just wanted to kind of set the stage there, but we're going to start on my tree. This is that Dollar Tree Valentine's Day heart wreath that we made in my last video. You guys loved that heart wreath. You loved it on Facebook. I just posted a tutorial of it today on Facebook, and then go back to my last video to see the YouTube tutorial, but it's basically a yarn wrapped wreath form. Then I added a little styrofoam heart to the center and then some roses around it. Now I'm just tying it to the top of my tree. I wanted the tree topper to be Valentine's Day and also unique. Now these are the Love Shack fancy hearts that we made in my last video. Again, just a Dollar Tree wooden round. I added tissue paper and then some pink ruffled ribbon from Hobby Lobby. Somebody on my Facebook page commented and said that that ribbon is really expensive. It is $1.99 a yard, which is a little bit pricey, but it's not completely out of reach. So I hope you're able to find that same little ruffled ribbon at Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the little Dollar Tree hearts. A lot of the things you all see me use on this tree are I DIY'd them. I've had a lot of people asking me where I buy my Valentine's Day decor. It's really a lot of it's from Dollar Tree. Now these little round circle lollipops, I don't know why that slipped my mind. I got these at Hobby Lobby on 80% off clearance, you guys, and I was going to wait and use them next year, but I just could not resist. I couldn't control myself. It was out of control. My excitement to do this sweet treat, God loves you tree. So thinking of Valentine's Day is love. Love is patient. Love is kind. And that's from 1 Corinthians. And I just love that. And I love love. I mean, this is Olivia's romantic home. You guys have to know that I love love and romance. So I'm just adding in some of these giant lollipops. Now, these are those conversation hearts. These are from Dollar Tree. We repainted these last year to make them a little bit more shabby chic. And I'm just going to pop those into my tree as well. I wasn't for sure if I was going to be able to pull off this big tree because this tree is about a foot larger than my old tree. In fact, I sold my old tree because I had this tree donated to me. Thank you for that donor. And so then I sold my old tree And so this tree is taller and a little bit slimmer. Now for the bows, my sweet friend Arlene had sent me this beautiful rose ribbon. And I have an update. I had asked you guys to pray for her because her and her husband were stranded and he was injured. They did get home safe, praise God, and her husband is recovering. Thank you, Jesus. He had to have some surgery, but he is doing better. So I just had to throw that out there. And Arlene, thank you so much for sending me this ribbon and the roses. You're just such a doll. So I'm making this quick little bow with my easy bow maker. Now, you guys, I actually watched a tutorial on how to make a handheld, hand-tied bow. And I've always said I'm bow challenged and I couldn't do those bows. But I kind of attempted it and it worked. But I'm going to tell you right now, my hands do not work like they used to. They just don't. I'm going to be honest. I started struggling with neuropathy in my late 30s. And I think all my exercising and working out has helped kind of halt the progression of my neuropathy because I don't feel like it's as bad actually as it used to be. I also stopped drinking coffee. I don't know if that helped. And I eat a lot better. And I think that helped some of the inflammation that I was struggling with in my body. But I do not have the hand coordination and dexterity that I did when I was younger. So I love this easy bow maker, and I have questions on where I get it from. It's from Amazon. I bought it during COVID. And it is about to fall apart. I mean, it's the little prongs are holding on for dear life. I've had to glue them back in multiple times, but it's 5 years old and it's my little tried and true. And I suppose if she flops out, then I will get a new one. But I love making big bows. So basically the prongs in the center are like tying a hand-tied bow. For the most part, they just hold it for you, and that's what I need because I do not have the grip strength or the dexterity to really hold the bow. Now, I'm sure if I had known how to tie hand-tied bows when I was younger, it would have been easier, but I just love this. It's a cheat code that I use, and I think that you guys would love it too. It helps me make all my bows. I also have the other little bow technique that I use where I wrap the ribbon over on itself, and that works really great too. But this, if I'm doing big tree bows, I like to cheat and use this one too. I was just in the mood to use my little easy bow maker. It takes a little bit more time than the loop over loop ribbon, but I feel like it has a really nice result. So now the other key to your bows is you want to fluff out all the loops, and you don't just do it once when you get done making your bow. You're going to do it again and again. You're going to do it when you get done making your bow. You're going to do it when you attach it to whatever you're attaching it to, whether it be a Christmas tree or wreath. And then you're probably going to do it even again after that. So I found these bows at Five Below during Christmas time. They're just big pink satin bows. But I saw somebody else post that they have big pink satin bow tree toppers at Walmart. I love these. I put a bunch of them on the back of my dining room chairs too. They were only $5. It was the one thing I actually cheated during Christmas and did purchase. But I felt like it maybe wasn't a cheat because I also kind of bought them for my daughter's birthday party. Oof, okay, I might be fudging that a little bit, but actually I did not spend any other money on Christmas decor until Christmas was over, and I did buy some of the Hobby Lobby 80% off jumbo lollipops and macaroons because I knew I was going to be using those on my Valentine's Day tree, even though I was going to try to save them till next year. I just couldn't do it. Here are those DIY handmade Love Shack fancy ornaments that we made over Christmas. I have shared tutorials on pretty much everything you guys see on my tree, all of the handmade goodies. Now, I got a wild hair and a whim because I would love to have some beautiful cherub ornaments for this tree, but you guys know I'm doing No Spin January, which is about to kill me. There's so many fun things I keep seeing popping up on my Facebook ads, little Easter dresses and different things, but we're going to get through January and not spend any more money on decor. Listen, I have to do this because I love shopping. I am a shopaholic. I'm a shopper girl. I'm trying to get better, but I just wired this cute little cherub into my tree. I wish I had some more cherubs to put on this tree, but that's okay. I just had these two, and we are going to work with that. They're my candlesticks, and I actually left the candles in them. I think it would be fun to get some flickering flameless candles to pop in there. I had some floating around somewhere, but I cannot seem to find them anywhere. You guys, my craft stash, I still need to get really organized. Now, these are just big gold tassels that I had at the thrift store. They're actually my curtain tiebacks, but when my grand dogs were home, they love to jump at my front windows and pull my curtains, off the thing, and they pulled off my curtain tieback things, so I'm not able to use the tiebacks on there. So I thought, you know what, we're going to put them on the Christmas tree. That was meant to be. So anyway, I just added some tassels onto here. Now let me know what you guys think about this. Bear with me because it looks a little wonky right now, but it is going to all come together. I always wonder if I can pull it off. When I'm doing my Christmas trees, I always think to myself, do I still have it? Can I still make it work? Because Christmas trees are kind of like my Super Bowl. They are the holy grail. They're the ones that I love to do, as well as wreaths and garlands. And I'm going to tell you that this Valentine's Day decor is by far yet my favorite. I love how it turned out, and I'm so excited to show my friends when they come over for Bible study tomorrow. I think hopefully they're really going to like it. Okay, now let's decorate the base of my Christmas tree. And there's Mr. Benchy Bear. He is about getting ready for his walk. I put his handsome little scarf on today. He had his best friend in the neighborhood come by, Mr. Rowdy, to say hi to him. And he is all jazzed up. Now, these are those Amazon boxes that we painted pink with white stripes in my last tutorial, and then we just added some pretty rose ribbon on them and just some more little craft goodies. But I felt like they came out so cute. At first I didn't know if they were going to look weird, and you guys really encouraged me that you liked them. Here is the final look. What do you all think? Also, do you think I should change out that little roses wreath over there on the door? I feel like it's either not enough or just throwing things off. But I am loving this tree so far. I think it turned out so beautiful. It has a lot going on. This is a very full over-the-top tree. I don't even think I did my Christmas tree this big this year. And then here is the mantle. I love the mantle too. I feel like it matches so well. And there's so many little details in this tree that are hard to see far away. But here are those little heart ribbons that we did. Those are those clearance bows that I found at Hobby Lobby. There's our Love Shack fancy wreath. Oh my goodness. And then I feel like the added touch is those candlesticks just popped in there, like the cherubs are just there having a romantic vacay. And those are those big roses too. You see those? Those are those big paper roses that I made last weekend, you guys. Those are really fun to make. You have to try those. Now, I use that Shabby Chic paper, but I painted them pink with some of my pink paint. It's the same pink paint that I used on the little hearts above the mirror and then over there on the mantle bows. So I'm trying to kind of keep everything cohesive. The macaroons are a little bit more of a brighter color. I'm hoping they don't stand out too much, but I did need some things to give kind of some contrast because I did use a lot of pale pink. But this is my sweet treat, Jesus Loves You tree. Just a reminder that Jesus is so sweet to us and so sweet to our hearts, and that Jesus loves us. And there's my crofts over there. I put my little cherub planter floral that I made over by the cross. But I'm thinking about doing like a little rose swag garland with a heart on it. I think that would be so pretty. And then, of course, Benji Bear. He is always causing a commotion. He's so funny. I feel like he really knows when it's showtime, you know, when I'm doing my pan arounds. He is so attentive and attuned to all of the little things that I have going on. And he's such a good boy. I usually go to the gym in the morning, but today I stayed home because I had to get this tree done. I just knew I really wanted to make it so special, and it took me hours of arranging and rearranging. I don't always put all of the things on camera that, you know, aren't working or that I have to redo, or all the little nitpicking that I have to do to pull off a look. But anyway, so also I made the little coffee filter roses, and those I feel like came out really pretty. They look so, so delicate. Just to have some roses in this tree. I do have some roses left over in my craft stash that I think I'm going to use for a big, beautiful wreath for my front door. I'm itching to do my front door, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that done before my ladies come tomorrow. So I just added my little Valentine's Day mat out there and some Valentine's Day gnomes. And we're going to have to hope for the best. I'm really going to focus on tomorrow getting the Bible study table ready. I want to set out prayer cards for everybody. I want to decorate it, make it feel all festive and cozy. And I think I'm going to DIY some little small centerpieces. I had a neighbor stop by and leave me some really pretty sparkly pink kind of votive style holders, but I think I don't have candles for them, so I think I'm going to make them into like little florals. Anyway, I hope you guys are loving this. Let me know, what is your favorite part of this decor? Do you love it? Is it too wild? Is it too much pink? I love it. It makes my heart sparkle and shine. I feel like when I'm decorating, this is an extension of who I am and my heart and what makes me happy. For the first DIY, we are going to make the most beautiful lantern floral. This is going to be for Valentine's Day. So I'm just using some evergreen left over from Christmas, and then I'm popping some lamb's ear into it, just kind of weaving it in and around the evergreen greenery. We want to lay down our greenery base first for this Valentine's floral. Now from Dollar Tree, I found these awesome little $1.50 hearts, and they're wooden. They look super nice. They also have a hanger on the back, so I went ahead and stuck a little straight floral pin back through the back of that. Then I'm going to make a cute little loopy bow, just taking this ribbon that I had left over from Christmas decorating, making some loops, twist tying it together. This is one of my hand tied bows, and I get a little bit frustrated with those, but it came out pretty good. Now I am zip tying everything to the top of this lantern because I get a ton of wind on my hill, and this is actually going to go outside my house. I'm adding in some beautiful pink roses, also left over from my Christmas decorating, because you guys saw that I did pink Christmas this year, and I'm savoring these roses. I need more roses that are on a stem, honestly, to do more florals with. I still need to do some garlands, and so I'm trying very sparingly to use these roses. I created 2 of these, one with each heart going off to the other direction, and put some flickering flameless candles inside. I thought they turned out absolutely gorgeous. I hope you guys try this. Any lantern you have on hand. Dollar Tree even has some really pretty gold lanterns for like $3 to $5. Check those out. Fun and fabulous on a total budget. For this next DIY, we're going to make a blooming candle floral. I grabbed some Dollar Tree foam, hot glued it to the plate, and this is a candlestick that I found at the thrift store that I used some gold leafing and painted it pink. This is one of those Dollar Tree hearts I painted pink and put fake icing around. Then I'm just going to add in some greenery and some Dollar Tree flowers. I'm adding the Dollar Tree flowers the same time I'm adding the greenery base because the Dollar Tree flowers aren't super showy, and I want to layer some pink showier flowers in and around them, but they are great filler flowers and they're very budget friendly. Now I decided to take some of that leftover Christmas pink ribbon, tie it into some loops, and zip tie it to my project, adding in some more beautiful florals and another one of those little Dollar Tree hearts that I painted pink with a white icing around. Dollar Tree also has this really cute little ribbon that has hearts inlaid on it. So I made a double loopy bow. So you just take your ribbon, double it up, and tie like you're tying a shoelace. And then I'm going to add that to the sides to have it kind of drape and cascade down. either side of my project. You guys can get really so creative with this. And if you're not doing pink pastel for Valentine's Day, that's okay. Use reds, hot pink, whatever you guys love. Here's the final look. I think it came out fabulous. I think I'm going to put it at the end of my hallway or next to my big cross in my living room. It's a blooming floral, and let me tell you, I just love these because they add so much sparkle and shine to our homes during those winter months. It's good to put out something with a little pop of color. I hope you guys love it and try it. For this next DIY, we're going to take these clearance $2 Hobby Lobby candle holders. Funny thing is, my neighbor actually had these in her craft stash. She dropped them off on my doorstep, and I had no idea where they came from, but we are Facebook friends, and so she messaged me because I was like, who's dropping off Hobby Lobby stuff on my front door? And it wasn't a delivery. Anyway, so sweet of her to do. So I'm just going to take some of this bridal lace trim that I found at Hobby Lobby. It's a little bit pricier. I think it's $3 a yard, which is a little bit much, but you know what? It makes some really pretty projects. And I didn't have to use that much to go around these votives. Now, I like the pink sparkle, super cute, but I just wanted to change a couple of them up because she did give me about 4 or 5 of them. I did drop one in the process of creating this DIY, but I simply just hot glued it in and around the candlestick. Super easy to do. Now, once I had all the pretty trimming glued on, I decided to take out these Dollar Tree flickering flameless candles. They come in a 3-pack. I think they're $1.25, and they're little votives, and they actually put off a lot more light than I thought they would. I was pretty impressed. I'm just going to glue some of this pretty pink ruffled trim around my candle votive. And the other thing I wanted to try was the Dollar Tree floating candles, but I wasn't for sure if these votives were meant to hold water, so I didn't want to take a chance. And also, I wasn't for sure how great the little rose votives are. Have you guys tried those? If so, will you leave a comment in the comment section and let me know how the Dollar Tree floating candles are, if they're any good or not? I'm interested to see also how long these little votives last. I'm going to use them at next week's Bible study for our table centerpieces. I wanted to use them this week, but I just didn't get around to getting them out. There's so many things I imagine in my mind that I'm going to set out for my ladies, but sometimes we just don't get to all of them. But this is something I did get to. I grabbed 12 Dollar Tree prayer cards because we were scheduled to have 11 ladies. I think we ended up having 10 or 11 total. One of them didn't show up, but we'll be there next time. So anyway, I'm just wrapping some tulle around the Dollar Tree prayer cards because it makes it look more fancy and fabulous. And then adding just a little piece of ribbon. I think these are really nice to have on hand. You could make up several of these, and when you see somebody that needs a little lift up or a little gift, you could just easily give these out. They're so inexpensive to do. Dollar Tree has a 12-pack of pins for $1.25. I just popped a pin onto there, and then a heart, and then a little Werther candy. I had truffles for my ladies at the party, but they all got eaten. For this first DIY, we're going to grab a Dollar Tree heart form wreath, and then I just have this tool from Hobby Lobby. I believe it was $2.99 for the entire roll, and I'm just going to take and hot glue a little bit of that tulle and then wrap the entire wreath form in tulle. Super easy to do. I did that. I filmed a little bit of it, and then I was like, oh, they probably don't want to see me wrap this whole wreath. So just, you guys get the gist. You just wrap the whole wreath in tulle or whatever fabric that you have on hand. I wanted to make it really whimsical, and I'm so excited to share with you guys what I'm going to do with it. So once I had the whole thing covered with tulle, I realized you could kind of see those little prongs through, and I had these pearls left over from Christmas decorating, and so I just added the pearls in and around the entire wreath, and it came out so gorgeous. I have been drooling over those pearl hearts that they have at Walmart, but I think they're like $17 a piece. And you guys, I am so committed to using what I already have, and look at what I was able to make just by looking around and using those little Dollar Tree wreath forms. A friend had given me last year, Miss Stacy gave those to me, and then I already had the tulle, and then I had this pearl left over from Christmas decorating, so I just used that, and I think these came out so pretty. So I'm gonna do 3 layers. I did the outside ring of the wreath form, and then the one that kind of pops out here, that's more the center, and then I did the interior one as well. But I hope you guys are loving this and are inspired. And can I just tell you that I had the craziest day today? Well, actually, it kind of started out with Monday, I didn't have my car. So my son had been working on my car and there was a little hiccup with the repair. And so he had to come down, I believe Monday, Tuesday, and even tonight. We've been working on my car. Well, I haven't, he has been. And it's been, the weather was okay, but then it got really cold. So for tonight, I had to put a heater out in the garage and I felt so bad. He worked out there so hard, but he finally got it all fixed. Anyway, I haven't had a car for 3 days, and I have my ladies' Bible study tomorrow, and I had planned to make this fancy soup. Well, I didn't have my car, so I went ahead and started working on a different soup tonight, and wasn't for sure if that was going to work. But anyway, and then I lost my glasses. So even to edit this video, I did part of the edit without my glasses because I didn't think I was going to have a car, and I wanted to at least get the edit going. I didn't want to disappoint you guys and not have a video put up, but long story short, my son got the car fixed. I was able to run to the little gas station down the street, grab some glasses, and I'm trying to think of the other crazy things that happened today. Maybe that was all. I have been fighting off a little bit of some sinuses going on, just with allergies mainly. But anyway, so I guess my day wasn't that crazy, but I guess having a car to me just felt different for several days. So anyway, I'm going to add some lace trim in and around the back of this wreath. You guys, this wreath comes out so cute. I love vintagey Valentine's Day decor. I love the laces and the hearts. You guys know Olivia's romantic home. So I love the 1990s with, you know, how they had all the laces and the bows and the pearls. I love that. I look back on stuff like that and it just is so nostalgic for me because I had so many little pageant dresses that were handmade by my neighbor that my mom had, and they were all frilly and ruffly and lacy, and I just love that stuff, you guys. Okay, so I went ahead and hung this wreath above my little picture in my kitchen. I think it looks absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to share with you guys that bow garland. It is so easy to do, and it's made using paper. You guys are going to flip your lid when you find out how easy that bow is to do, but here is how that little wreath turned out. It looks very vintagey, but I hope you guys are. For this next DIY, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut a bunch of strips of paper and we're going to make a heart paper garland. So I'm going to do a couple paper crafts in this video, and this heart one is so easy to do, and I wanted to share it with you guys because if you are planning to do any activities with kids, grandkids, your church group, whatever, this is so fun to do. Okay, so for the first strip, you're going to take and you can staple or hot glue this. It would have been helpful if I would have a stapler, but I didn't. And you're just going to make the first loop of Valentine, and then you're going to take and you're going to take the second piece and you're just going to pop it down inside of there and then loop it over and then glue again. These are so easy to do, and you guys can make big ones or little ones. I suggest for your paper strips to be about 2 inches wide, and then I'm just going to share with you guys again. You're just going to take, fold that over, and then push the folded over piece up into your little Valentine heart there, and then fold it back over to make the heart. And where you guys see me hot gluing, the original tutorial calls for a stapler, but lo and behold, I do not have a stapler anywhere to be found. So anyway, you guys can glue this or staple it. Here is the final look. I hope you guys love it and try it, and happy crafting. Okay, this next DIY is fabulous. All you need is a piece of square paper, and I had this Shabby Chic square paper that my dear friend had sent me off of Amazon, and I'm just going to fold it twice. So you want to fold it in the triangle shape. Now this is so fun. So you're going to cut, and you're going to cut little slits in each part of the triangle, but you don't want to cut it all the way through. So you just do a little slice, and you leave about, oh gosh, about an inch into the center. So you want to do that, and you're going to do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, once you have that done, then you're going to cut just a little long piece out of one of the little triangles there. So this is super easy to do as well. Again, you don't want to cut through. You want that long piece just right there. That's going to be the center of your bow. I hope you guys can just kind of watch because it's a little bit difficult to explain. Then you're going to cut 2 slits, and this is going to be the tail of your bow. And again, you don't want to cut all the way through. So the entire time you're maintaining that center part. Okay, set that aside, and then you're going to fold in those 2 larger triangles and hot glue them, or you could staple them. But I feel like hot glue works really good on this one. So just hot glue that little edge right there, and then you're going to hot glue another little spot there, and that's going to give you the first loop of your bow. This is so fun. I can't wait for you guys to try this. So you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And then once you have that done, you're just going to simply fold your tails under. This is so easy to do, you guys. I can't wait for you to try this. Okay, fold your tails under, and that's going to be your tails. And then wrap that long piece around, and that's the center part of your bow. How easy is that, and how adorable is this bow? And I think the bow looks cute either way, actually. The tutorial had it with like the little cross loops out, but you could also do it the other way. I think it'd be super cute. Okay, I am going to hot glue all of these together, but I want to share with you guys one more time the whole tutorial again. I'll let you guys watch. That way, in case, you know, I don't know, sometimes I feel like my hands are in different places or covering different things. So maybe this tutorial, you guys will get it. And please try this one. I can't wait to see your posts. Okay, if you guys want to add a little extra Valentine's Day touch, which is what I did for mine, is I just used some of the leftover scrap paper because we have no scraps left behind, and I cut hearts to put into the center of my bow, and I just glued those little hearts on, and then I just hot glued all the bows together. I did about 6 of them, I think. Again, it's so fun and easy to do. Here is the garland. You guys, this would be so cute for a little girl's birthday party or for a bridal shower or baby shower. And I just used some thumbtacks to hook it up to my wall. I didn't want to put nails in or anything like that. I just think it came out so adorable. Again, this is just fun for Valentine's Day, but so many ideas you guys could do with this. And it would be really pretty also with just plain paper. You just want to make sure it's just square paper. So here is how it looks. Look at how adorable and shabby chic cottagey this is. I am in love. I hope you guys love it and try it as well. For the next DIY, we're going to make a super easy bow. My sweet friend Arlene had sent me this ribbon. It's wired ribbon. I'm going to measure it about 12 inches, and then I'm going to trim that off. And then for the second cut, I'm going to measure about 14 inches, and then I'm going to cut that as well. So 14 inches on each side, and then you're going to take your wired ribbon, and on the ends you're just going to hot glue that together. This makes a really pretty little present package bow, or just any kind of little bow that you might need to pop into pretty much anywhere that you need a fun bow, which I think a fun bow makes everything better. Bows make everything better, right guys? Okay, once I had the first loops together, I'm going to do the second set of loops. So it's going to be just a little bit smaller than the second set. And then you're going to put your loops together and then cut some tails. Super easy to do. You guys, this bow is foolproof. I promise you can totally do this. Now, don't forget to dovetail those ends, which means just cutting a little triangle at the end of your bow. And then you're going to want to zip tie everything together. Super easy to do once you have it all together. So I like to pinch also those two set of loops together and then add in my little tails here. And to do that, I'm just going to grab a zip tie and I'm going to zip tie this all together. Now, you guys know that I always suggest that you fluffy up your bows. So once you have it all zip tied together, then you're going to take it and you're going to fluff it and play around with the loops and the tails. And you can also cut a little extra piece of ribbon too to go around that center point. Fun and fabulous. So budget friendly and so cute and easy to do. I'm going to make up a bunch of these, but probably even larger ones to put on my front door garland. It's cold again now though, so I am dragging my feet getting out there to decorate for Valentine's Day outside. That always happens. I might have to pull the garland down and just do it inside. It's been super windy too, so the garland looks ridiculous. It looks like such a hot mess. And I really was hoping to have it done by this week, but you know what? There's always next week, right? I made 2 of these. I think they're so cute, and I put one of them on my little cake stand over here. So my cake stand has a big fabulous bow because why not? I feel like this is like Cyndi Lauper's kitchen. Remember Cyndi Lauper had that video, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, with all the fake treats and the fun bows. Well, this girl does love to have fun, but all the good fun stuff. For the next DIY, I am going to add some bows and hearts to my cabinet. Well, I guess this is really just hearts, but I just hot glue my little piece of ribbon to the inside of my cabinets. My cabinets are old. This house is 23 years old. So they're 23 years old and they've had a paint job multiple times on them. So we're not going to fear a tiny dab of hot glue on the inside of them. And then I just take the hearts and I hot glue them to the front, and then bam. The next thing I want to do is add some pretty ribbon to my soap bottles. I think this is such a fun and easy idea. It just is so festive. Dollar Tree has this cute ribbon. Just wrap it around and then add a little fun bow. It's just going to give that festive Valentine's Day touch. And here is a final look of my Valentine's Day kitchen. Very hearts and bows and all the pretty pink cakes. I will have to probably rearrange my cakes into some different spots though as I host my ladies Bible study. I wanted to share with you guys the table, but I ran out of time filming this video, spending time with my son. My sister called, one of my girlfriends called, and I also did some cooking tonight. So I just ran out of time, and I'm hoping that I'll get enough time tomorrow. Here's a really funny clip of Benji Bear. He has a girl mom, as you guys can tell. I was really worried his ears wouldn't get cold because it was windy, but he wanted to go outside and do his business. So he has on his Christmas jammies and then this lovely little headscarf. And he is looking at me like, Mom, I don't care. Just let me get outside, but please, this is not going to work. And he was right. It didn't work. So I pulled it down over his ears so it didn't look so ridiculous. But then he had other plans, as you guys can see. He was going to take things into his own hands. He was like, I'm absolutely not hitting the hood in this ridiculous scarf. So I pulled it down some more, and eventually it did fall off, and I just bandaged it around his neck. So poor guy, he has a girl mom for sure, but he is well loved, and this is one little guy that has to listen when I tell him to put his coat on. I don't know if you guys were like me, where you always were telling your kids to put their coats on, wear their hat and scarves. I wonder if my mom did that. She probably did. But now I'm always putting my coat on and wearing my hat and scarf. So here goes Benji Bear out on his walk. We love you guys so much. We're so thankful for you. And he wants to say hi to all his puppy dog and kitty cat fans out there. And don't tell anybody that Mom put a funny scarf on his head. At least hopefully you guys got a good laugh out of it. I know I did. Maybe Benji Bear not so much, but he still had a great walk. In fact, I had to make him come home because it was starting to get dark. But we love you guys.
Well, so much for joining me on this fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. It is such a true blessing and honor to have each and every one of you all here. I absolutely love each and every comment that I read. You guys are so amazing and so sweet and so heartfelt and so encouraging as I bring back a little bit more romantic decor into my videos this season with some Love Shack Fancy, Shabby Chic, and we're just going to do some, fun cottage decor crafts and regular crafts as we go along. Remember, you guys can always change up the ribbons and the paint color to match your decorating style, but this is Olivia's Romantic Home, so we're going to bring back some romance. Okay, I have been reminding you guys to drink your water. Also, I have to remind you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. It helps this little mama out so much. I am a full-time content creator, so thank you guys for being here. Drink your water. We're going into the new year getting fit and feeling fabulous by drinking our water, getting our steps in, and all of those fun things. Another thing I have been sharing with you guys is a daily devotional. My sweet friend Stacy sent me this. He Whispers Your Name. It's by Cherry Hill, and you guys can find this on Amazon. I am probably the least perfect Christian on this planet, but doing a devotional helps me, and it's been helping you guys, so I'm going to keep doing this. I've been doing one at the end of every single video, and so thank you guys for the encouragement and sharing some faith, because I feel like we just need a little bit more goodness in this world, so we're going to do it. Okay, so the last one we read was titled Brokenhearted, and we have all been through a broken heart. Today is called Beyond Broken. So let's hear what this devotional has to say about being beyond broken. You may experience the same trials over and over, wondering, why is it that I have forsaken you and allowed you to continually go through pain and suffering? Sometimes it is a part of growing your faith. At other times, it is because I'm trying to bring the issues in your life that need attention to the surface. If I am to set you free, I will have to point out the destructive attitudes and behaviors that keep you from experiencing my very best for your life. My desire is that everything in your life would honor me. Take heart. Know that pain and sorrows you are experiencing at the moment will be transformed into unthinkable joy. I am freeing you from your self-sufficiency so that I can demonstrate my sovereign power and wisdom in and through you. Though you might think there must be another way, it is often only through brokenness that you'll surrender your will to mine. I want you to stop depending on your limited knowledge and resources and start relying upon me. I want to remove anything from your life that keeps you from fully trusting me. I am all wise, loving, and always working every situation in your life for good. Beyond your brokenness, there are blessings. Beyond your brokenness, there are blessings. I'm about to start crying. So wait expectantly with confident hope. Wow, what a great devotional. When he tests me, I will come out as pure as gold. And that's in Job 23:10. So beyond your brokenness, there are blessings. What an amazing reminder that even when we are broken, God has blessings right around the corner. Even though it's hard to see, it's hard to feel, it's even hard to hear. But I think what I'm hearing with this is that we have to lay down all of our junk, basically, so we can hear God's voice. One of the biggest things I've had to lay down this last year has been unforgiveness. I've harbored unforgiveness. I've harbored, I was broken. I was really broken. My heart was broken, and I had a really hard time forgiving. Even though I said I was forgiving, I don't think that my attitude all the time or my true heart had really forgiven, and I think it's still constant work. So I'll tell you, unforgiveness is kind of like having a clogged drain when you're trying to do dishes and it just keeps filling up, and then it spills over into this anger and this junk. For me, this is just me personally. And boy, when I started really truly forgiving and letting go of that unforgiveness, my joy came back, and my smile came back, and my love for everything that I love in my life really started coming back, and it's still coming back. So if you guys are going through brokenness, whether it be losing somebody, losing a situation, losing something, I just want to pray for you guys and let you know that there is so many blessings right around the corner of that. So keep going, keep putting one foot for the other, and don't give up. All right, I didn't mean to get emotional, but I did. I just want to hug all of your hearts so tight, gather you up in a big old tight hug, and wish you guys a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed day. This channel is for crafting and decorating and sharing our hearts, and mainly sharing it to you ladies, because, and I don't know why I'm flailing this cup around, but I am. This is my prop for the day. But I don't know where I was going with that. I just want to encourage you guys, as there's so many ladies that are on this channel, and you guys are an encouragement to me. I'm going to put my cup down. You guys are an encouragement to me, so I want to be an encouragement to you, and I want you guys to keep going no matter where you're at and what you're going through, and that there's so many blessings around the corner. There's so much joy. Gosh, even just doing some little things like, here's some examples of something you could do to bring somebody joy. I love to find cute little pictures like good morning blessings and send them out to my friends just to remind them that they are loved, to send them out to my family members, or sometimes it's on my heart to somebody a beautiful praise and worship song, or a funny, TikTok, or, just a I love you. How many of us just need to be told, I love you, I love you, I love you so much. You're so important, you're so beautiful. So I want to say to you guys, I love you, and I hope that you're able to tell some people today in your life that you love them, and I hope you're able to forgive some people that you need to forgive, and also forgive yourself, because I think that's one of the biggest things I also struggle with, is forgiving myself. So anyway, I love y'all. I'm gonna let you guys go, and until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. It will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.